There's international condemnation for President Trump's statement that he'd like to see the U.S. seize Gaza. There's the question of what would happen to more than 2 million Palestinian residents. The BBC's Mike Thompson reports.
Egypt and Jordan have both repeated that they won't take any displaced Palestinians from Gaza. Saudi Arabia and Qatar have also voiced their opposition, and Turkey has said the proposal shouldn't even be discussed. Many countries, however, perhaps wary of offending the powerful and unpredictable U.S. leader, have remained silent.
The White House calls a potential U.S. takeover of Gaza an out-of-the-box idea. Republicans, the Justice Department, and the FBI are allowing the continued presence inside government agencies by Elon Musk and his team of young tech gurus. Meantime, Democrats are protesting. Today, they're at USAID, which is being virtually shut down by Musk. This is Senator Chris Van Hollen of Delaware.
Make no mistake about it. Elon Musk's effort to dismantle the Agency for International Development is a gift to China. It's a gift to Russia. It's a gift to our adversaries around the world.
USAID staffers worldwide are scrambling for answers and starting to pack up households after a Trump administration order pulling them off the job by the end of the week. International disease response and containment are just part of the agency's mission. A federal judge has ordered a second nationwide pause of President Trump's executive order seeking to end birthright citizenship.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Amendment. An executive order to be signed
7, 8, 9, 10.
would attempt to ban transgender women
Holla,
from
how you doing, boss man?
sports.
All right.
For snow and icy rain to come down
Another day at the
tomorrow
office,
morning,
my friend.
just in
Another
time for the
day.
workday commute. State
Yeah, we had
Josh Morgan.
Governor Lamont speak for almost an hour.
No, who you coming on? Brian and Company?
He was on the Taj. No, he didn't come in. He had the budget shit.
Oh, you guys gypped him.
And we're going to make sure
So you just had him giving the speech on WTIC. Well, WTIC joined it in progress.
Hurt when he was struck
There
by
you go.
a school bus in Waterbury.
Yeah, that's what we call
Police say
gypping
the
it. JIP.
73-year-old was struck near Harper's
Joining
Ferry
in
Road
progress.
East Main Street.
Oh, okay.
The injuries
And I thought jipping meant something else.
No,
There
that's
were 5 students
GYP.
in the drunk
Okay.
That's
school bus.
that's
No one
taking
was
somebody's money.
Oh, okay. All right.
Last month.
Payroll processor ADP reports a gain of 183,000 jobs in January.
Short
up
for
from
gypsy.
176,000 in December, which was
Gotcha.
higher by 50.
Oh, man.
What are you yawning for?
Consumer facing
Working all day,
I
man.
know. What you been there? Is it noon?
hiring.
Nah. I get here at 11.
Oh, okay. Oh,
and
damn. Okay.
manufacturing. ADP says wages rose.
All right, I need 2
4.7%
minutes
from
and
a
I'll be
year
right
earlier
back.
For job
All right, cool.
While job changers.
By the way, I
saw
got a new
wages
bit
rise 6.8%.
for
CBS's Jason Brooks.
Chris
On Wall
Murphy.
Street, the Dow is up 264. S&P
and it
climbing
involves Chris
15
Rock. You're
points.
gonna love
The
this one. This
Nasdaq
one
is
goes
down
right into your
2
wheelhouse.
points.
Okay. Okay.
Rest of our Wednesday afternoon, it'll be mostly cloudy and colder. The high of 30. Then tonight, mostly cloudy. The low down to 17. That sets the table for Thursday morning. We'll get snow, sleet, and freezing rain in the morning with 1 to 3 inches of snow, turning to ice in the afternoon. Roads could be slick throughout the day. The high of 34. Then as we head into Friday, windy with a mix of clouds and sunshine. The high of 38. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
30 now in Hartford. Sports, NHL, the Bruins at the Rangers. Tomorrow night, women's college basketball, the UConn women with a big one at Tennessee. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Coverage varies by plan, view contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203.
Curry's weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Everyone
Everyone's talking about the breakthrough of weight loss drugs, but too few can access or afford them. Hers is changing that. At forhers.com/radio, you can access doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you, like GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, or oral medications at a fraction of the price. That's right. You'll save up to 91% per month on compounded semaglutide based on pricing through Hers, the same active ingredient as the name brand drug at 91% less. There's no hidden fees and no membership fees, just one low, transparent price. And the process is 100% online. If prescribed, your personalized plan ships free directly to your door. Get started at forhers.com/radio to access affordable doctor-trusted weight loss plans that put you first. That's forhers.com/radio. FORHERS.com/radio.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth from Money Wisdom. Tune in this week and every week to gain a better understanding of
Scallywags
taxes,
in the chat room.
retirement
God
income,
bless you.
and long-term
Michael
care.
K.
For Money Wisdom, Saturdays at 8:30
Michael B,
on
sorry,
WTIC,
Kevin
NewsTalk
L.
1080.
Tom Selleck
LA.
here. Big game this Sunday, which means
Thank you guys
parties,
for joining. We got
libations,
plenty of
and
good
food.
stuff for
The
you
exact
today.
Scenario Awaken 180 was built for. Why? Because you eat to lose weight. Yes, you eat to lose weight. Do it once. Enjoy the process. Then receive free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Is credit card debt ruining your life?
1 minute.
Right to settle that debt for much less than you owe? DebtBlue has helped people just like you resolve millions of dollars of high-interest credit card debt. They can help with payment relief, the burden of rising inflation, and have a large portion of your debt wiped clean. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, a free 10-minute phone call could save you thousands. Discover how to reduce or completely resolve your credit card debt. In fact, we're so
Craig in
sure
the
that
house.
we can
Richard
reduce
A.
your debt that we offer the DebtBlue Success Guarantee. We don't get paid unless your debt gets reduced or resolved, so there's absolutely no risk to call. For your free debt resolution plan, call 800-211-5209.
Courtney, stand by.
That's
You're going to love today's opening monologue.
5209. The call is free.
In 10.
The more you owe, the more you can save. Call now. 800-211-5209. 800-211-5209.
Hey, yo! Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio.
Reese is all over me. Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, and a hearty happy Wednesday to each and every one of you. The show begins now, and I've got a new benchmark for the Reese on the Radio program. You're going to love this. Roland, this one is for you, and it's because of a television show that I know you probably watched. I didn't watch. I might probably watch like 1 or 2 episodes, but I thought it was perfect because we have a little bit here where they call me the the official president of the Chris Murphy fan club. And I thought it was only appropriate that we do a skit called Everybody Hates Chris.
Hey!
So we're going to do a bit. It's called Everybody Hates Chris, where I call Chris Murphy's office and I leave him a voicemail. Because for some odd reason, whenever you call his DC office, no one seems to answer. So he's just taking voicemail. So we'll do that in a little bit when we get a chance. It's Everybody Hates Chris. We'll do it maybe once a week, maybe twice a week if something comes up. Because he likes to get himself into the news media. He's like the new Chuck Schumer. And Chuck Schumer's embarrassing himself so badly, people are going to tell him to get off the stage. And I think, Chris, you're up to bat, buddy. I think you're designated hitting for Chuck Schumer. I can't wait. Telephone number 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Now, I'd like to tell some people stateside about something going on internationally. But I think for those people who can't seem to understand what the big deal is about the new news outrage, it's real simple. So I want to use sort of an analogy here. Let's take inner city USA. It could be anywhere. Detroit, Hartford, East Hartford. It could be South Central LA, Chicago, Gary, Indiana. Inner city USA. I want you to look at those cities and I want you to ask yourself, do you ever find it that no matter how progressive those cities seem to become, no matter how many politicians they elect who are either Democrat or Black or Latino, that no matter what, there seems to be more and more animus coming out of the mouths of the constituents, especially if they're Black or brown. They seem to be getting everything they want politically, right? In order for them to rule for themselves, they need political power. So they elect African Americans, they elect Latinos or Hispanics. They take in a progressive agenda, and more people end up poor or in poverty. It gets worse and worse and worse, and they're growing animus for the opposition party, or white folks in general, seems to grow. Have you ever asked yourself, like, how is that possible? How is Memphis, Tennessee have more and more violence? And when we look at the leadership of Memphis, Tennessee, it seems to be a growing potpourri of the same types of people, Black liberals. We look at Baltimore, Maryland, all of its leadership, African American, women, progressives, yet those areas still are horrible. You wouldn't send your enemies there to live. Because it's real simple. These politicians can't stay in power unless they have a permanent underclass. Keep frustrating their lives and then promising them that you will make it better. And also make sure to tell them that they can't trust the other, white folks or Republicans. And it's a perpetual circle that keeps going round and round. I eat because I'm hurt. I'm hurt because I'm fat. I'm fat because I eat too much. It's the same stupid cycle over and over again. Now, you remember that scene at the end of Time to Kill with Matthew McConaughey and Samuel L. Jackson? When he tells everybody to close their eyes, when he's telling the story about the assaulted little girl, the raped little girl. And remember what Matthew McConaughey says at the end of the thing? And he says, now imagine that girl is white, when he tells the story. With everything I just told you about the inner city, now imagine...
Was that A Time to Kill?
Yes, that's right. Now imagine it's Gaza. Now imagine it's the Gaza Strip. Because that's what it is. The Gaza Strip is the inner city of the United States, all across our fruited plain. Those people are always left in perpetual poverty, and they elected the people who keep them there, Hamas. And the people who can provide for them continuously tell them that it's not their leadership, it's the Jews. Constantly telling them not to trust them. They are your enemy. You need to destroy them. Does this all sound familiar to you? So when Donald Trump goes to this press briefing with Benjamin Netanyahu and he tells everybody, yeah, you know what? We're going to go in there. We're going to clean up Gaza. We're going to disassemble all of the bombs. We're going to tear down all the dilapidated buildings, and we're going to turn that place into a beautiful Riviera of the Middle East. And what do you think the news media did? They went nuts. What about their home? What about the Palestinians? Will they have to leave? No. We're going to make it a beautiful place for them, and we're going to create jobs, and they're going to flourish. Hamas has been in charge of them since 2005. What did they get for it? What did they get? They got endless war and more poverty and more angst, more anger, more strife, more war, more bloodshed. Donald Trump says we're going to take it over and we're going to turn it into the Riviera of the Middle East. And everybody's going, what? The crazy part is that what are they advocating for? For those people you want us to bring all of those people back to that dilapidated Gaza Strip, to that war-torn country where there's no running water. They seem to be more interested in returning those people there than improving it. Sound familiar? It's inner city USA. The news media telling you can't talk about the strife that's happening in Chicago. You can't talk about Detroit. You can't talk about New York City, lest you be racist, bigoted, or some phobic. That's the reason why they have a problem with what Donald Trump said in that press conference yesterday. Because they want to keep those people, those Palestinians, in perpetual anger for the rest of their lives. That's the reason why. And I thought about that all day today. Why would anyone advocate for these people to be returned to a non-functioning city? A place where they have to scrap for food. How are they going to take care of themselves? Because deep down, they want them angry. Deep down, they want the strife. Deep down, they want the oppressor-oppressed conflict that is in the Middle East. It gives the news media an opportunity to be what it always wanted to be, anti-Semitic. They know it. We know it. We can see right through it. That's the reason why Chicago will never get better until the people of Chicago say no more. We won't fall for the okie doke. No more banana in the tailpipe. Detroit, too. South Central LA. Every horrible neighborhood you could think of across this country. All it needs is for those people to finally say enough. I cannot suffer another death in my family from drive-by shootings or gang violence. I cannot stand another day begging for the government to give me a handout. I cannot stand another day where they have all the jobs leaving us and going overseas or anywhere else where it's prosperous. If I've had enough of people telling me that I need them in order to survive instead of being self-reliant. Enough. Imagine if America were to step in, or any other of the partners that the United States has, perhaps Saudi Arabia, maybe even Jordan. Why doesn't Jordan or Egypt want to join in? If you check the DNA of most of these folks, they turn out to be their brethren, but they want no parts. They want no parts, and no one's asking that question. What did Donald Trump say yesterday? He didn't call for this, what everyone else is saying, this mass genocide, this ethnic cleansing that Al Green is talking about. Damn it, now I have two Al Greens I hate. Anyway, I'll get to that in another time. But can you believe that? Donald Trump just says we'll turn it. He never said that he was getting rid of Palestinians. Well, what about the Palestinians? They'll live there. Why can't they return home now? Because it's a mess. We'll ask Jordan, we'll ask Egypt to take care of them, which they should have been doing in the first place. Now, again, don't forget, I want everybody to really take this into consideration. Everyone who's ever had a conversation about this ordeal. You have second world, maybe even first world countries surrounding Israel. Every country surrounding Israel is a Muslim nation. There are only 2.5 million people, or at least last account, at least 2.5 million people in the West Bank, in Gaza. How is it that all of those Muslim nations, Egypt and Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq combined, couldn't provide for 2.5 million people? That's the equivalent of the black community in California. No one has been able to keep those people out of poverty. No one's been able to get those people good paying jobs. No one has been able to at least Get these people in a place where they're no longer angry with their Jewish neighbors, where they're living prosperously. Some people have decided to go into Israel. Some people there are Palestinians who go into Israel all the time who work, who have no animus with Israelis. But the rest of them, why? No one has told them to stop teaching hate, stop teaching their children to hate Jews in the grade schools. No one's even bothered. They pump that nonsense back into the people of Palestine over and over and over again. Why? Because the idea is to keep them oppressed. The idea is to keep them angry. The idea is to funnel and to foment racism and hatred for the people of Israel, for their greater good. But not one of them has decided to pony up and to feed those people, house those peoples, or make those people prosperous, with all of those nations surrounding them. Israel is the only Jewish state. The rest are Muslim. So somebody explain to me why it's happening. Why does it continue to happen in our inner cities? Because it works for them. It works for Democrats. It works for progressives. They are nothing more than doing the thing that's making these people angry so they can do their bidding. Dare I say it, the Democrats no longer need the Klan because now they have the inner city. Keeping those people in, I mean, we're talking about a permanent underclass, reminding them that they'll never get by, telling them that the white man is their enemy, that whiteness is privilege. It's a means to turn them into the terrorists that they want. And unfortunately, it's not that black people don't know. It's not that black people are too stupid to recognize it. But it's because it's embedded in them. Because their own generation after generation keeps fomenting that in its own children. You think about it. You keep telling a black kid that he amounts to nothing. You keep telling a black kid that the police officers have a target on his back. You keep telling a black kid that the white man doesn't want you to be educated. You keep telling the black kid that he's got no future because the white man won't give it to you. What do you think you're going to get at the end of the day? You think you're going to get a bunch of kids who are going to jump into the school system, who are going to get an education, who are going to rise above any of that? No. You're going to turn a bunch of black kids into a bunch of radical anarchists who have destroyed their lives and the lives of the people who are around them because they have no hope. And once you kill that hope, you kill everything. It becomes a virus. And that's the reason why when Donald Trump said what he said yesterday about the Gaza Strip and turning it into the Riviera, the press and everybody else lost their damn minds. Because it's an opportunity to put the kibosh, to put a big steel boot on something they've allowed to foment for hundreds of years. I applaud Donald Trump for making them go nuts because it exposes who they are. Every day it exposes who they are. And I love every bit of exposing these people. I just want to ask one of them. I'd love to have them on this program. I'd love for them to go on any program on this network or any conservative and explain to me why they don't want those people to be prosperous, why they don't want those people to live in peace. I'd love to know, but they can't answer any questions. Or they won't. Because that's how the whole thing gets. I mean, that's how you keep it going. You avoid tough questions. You never have any answers for the people. You keep repeating the same old lie over and over again. And you'll get the low-hanging fruit to believe it. You'll get the low-hanging fruit to repeat the lie to their friends and their friends' friends. I love the line that a lie can travel around the world before the truth can get its pants on. That's where we are. I apologize. I don't even know what that is, but I guess I'm getting my own. Sorry, that's the wrong thing there. I apologize. That shouldn't be happening. My apologies. Just interrupt my damn monologue with that call. Anyway, we got to take a break. More news, more views. We'll take your phone calls. And we'll get into the USAID thing. And we'll definitely get into Everybody Hates Chris.
Everybody hates Chris.
I will play my message that I left for him based upon his speech that he gave at the Capitol. All right? So stick around. I've actually got about 30 seconds. So
20 seconds.
20 seconds. Okay, fine. I have 20 seconds. So fine. In 20 seconds, we'll go back. When we return, we'll take your phone calls and I'll read your comments in the chat room as well. So don't forget, go to reeseontheradio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. If you don't want to call in and you can't call in because you're at the office, just get into the chat room at reeseontheradio.com and join us on Facebook or any one of the social media outlets. All right, we'll talk about this and much, much more. Now we can take a break. All right, we'll be back after this.
Hi, Dave Berger from Modern Plumbing Supply. When I think of February, I think of Valentine's Day and the feeling of love. It brings a smile to my face, as your bathroom always should. I want everyone to love their bathrooms, so it's time to fall in love again. Let Modern Plumbing Supply show you how. Visit our showroom on the Berlin Turnpike in Berlin. Now is the perfect time to update with the newest styles and trends, and you'll truly love your bathroom again. Modern Plumbing Supply on the Berlin Turnpike in Berlin.
Great design with you in mind. Modern Plumbing Supply.
Local news can come at you fast. Want the latest on what's happening in your backyard? Download the free Odyssey app. Follow your local news station, and you'll get alerts on the top stories making headlines in your city. You can stay in the know, no matter what you're up to, and be among the first to find out when news breaks. Plus, keep tabs on weather and traffic, so you're never caught off guard. To get started, download the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY, and follow your local news station.
What's the difference between Allaire Elder Law and most elder planning services? Allaire Elder Law is a law firm, which means we can advise you on asset protection and next step planning to avoid probate and protect the other spouse for their future needs. For example, after working to protect assets from the Medicaid spouse, the healthy spouse needs a special will to keep protecting things in future. With other services, if you're just getting the Medicaid application and not necessary legal documents or strategies, you're getting much less, and often for the same price. Medicaid processing companies can be slow. They may sound like a good deal, but a lot of times they put the work on the family's shoulders, which could mean it takes more time, which costs money when paying for care. Our job is education as much as execution. Finally, please ask the question, are you being referred to a Medicaid planning service for the right reasons, or might they be steering you? I'm Haley Allaire. For comprehensive senior planning for your family, the right choice is Allaire Elder Law. Compassionate counsel and proven results. AllaireElderLaw.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-317-2277. That's 800-317-2277. 800-317-2277.
And now, a WTIC news update.
30 degrees at 3:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High around freezing this afternoon, low about 20 tonight, then snow and freezing rain starting tomorrow morning. Governor Lamont's vision for the state's next 2-year budget looks to fund universal preschool for needy children.
I am proposing that we move 3% of the revenue from our pension pay down into the general fund, 3%. And any surplus in the general fund, estimated at $300 million per year, will be deposited into our brand new universal preschool endowment.
Jeffrey Beckham, Secretary of the Office of Policy and Management, says when the plan is in place, the goal would be no cost for families making up to $100,000 per year. The governor spoke before lawmakers at the Capitol They'll now haggle over the budget through early June. House Republican leader Vin Candelora calls the address uninspired and deeply concerning. An out-of-the-box idea, that's White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt calling President Trump's sudden announcement last night that he'd like to see the U.S. seize Gaza. That would displace more than 2 million people. The world is reacting. This is Riyad Mansour, permanent observer of the state of Palestine, to the UN.
Our homeland is our homeland. If part of it is destroyed, the Gaza Strip, the Palestinian people selected the choice to return to it.
Saudi Arabia and 4 other Arab nations immediately wrote to Secretary of State Marco Rubio in opposition. They're standing behind a 2-state solution. Democrats protested today outside the Worldwide Relief Agency, USAID. The Trump administration has virtually shut it down, with employees ordered off the job by the end of the week. Democrats call the move illegal. Meantime, there are other Trump-related protests around the country.
In Austin, Texas, demonstrators carrying signs reading Trump as a criminal and do not remain silent rallied, issuing calls for action such as defend our democracy.
Donald Trump's attack on immigrants is an attack on us all, and their fight is our fight.
That's from Annapolis, Maryland, where protesters supported transgender people and migrants, among many others. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
On Wall Street, the Dow is now up 305 points. S&P climbing 20 points. The NASDAQ is plus 15. And the WTIC forecast.
Well, the rest of our Wednesday afternoon, it remains mostly cloudy. It'll be colder, the high of 30. Going to feel like it's down in the 20s with a breeze out of the northwest. Tonight, mostly cloudy. It'll be cold again, the low down to 17. Now, heading through the day Thursday, snow, sleet, and freezing rain in the morning, followed by 1 to 3 inches of snow, turning to ice in the afternoon, the high 34. Then Friday, well, it'll be windy with a mix of clouds and sun, the high of 38. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
30 in Hartford. Sports tonight, the Bruins at the Rangers. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Hey everybody, Tom Shattuck here. This Sunday is the big game. Don't blame me. This would be much easier if I could just say this has finally come. Parties, football, libations, food, all the festivities we welcome every February. Question is, what if you're trying to lose weight but still enjoy watching this with friends? The answer, nothing. As I've told you before, Awaken 180 is built for real life scenarios. The reason I lost my 80 pounds, the program works. And another thing that's really important to me, this is not a big pharma experimental serum that you're taking or anything. There's no syringes involved. This is just good natural eating. Eat wings and meatballs while watching this. Have a beverage while betting on this. Live your life while enjoying this. I think you get the point. Whether you're in the weight loss phase or in free lifelong maintenance, Awaken 180 won't get in the way of enjoying the big game. Reserve your consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. 844-346-1800.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit ConsumerCellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-bill.
Men, this is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and you've heard me talk.
1 minute.
Low testosterone can improve your sleep, your workouts, your energy levels, and more. But today I want to talk about your sex drive, because low testosterone can have a significant impact on your desire for intimacy. It can even be a factor in erectile dysfunction. And if you're in a relationship or wanting to be in a relationship, a low sex drive could really be a problem. The good news is that if you're like most guys, treating a low T could really change the way you feel about sex, giving you back that flame and desire that is so important when you love someone. So if you're feeling sluggish and tired, if you're not sleeping well, if your workouts aren't that great, and most of all, if your sex drive is more like a putt, make an appointment at Northeast Men's Health and have your testosterone levels checked. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to Northeast Men's Health.
Here we go.
We have 5 offices in the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
Everybody hates Chris.
Hi, you have reached the D.C. office of U.S. Senator Chris Murphy. We're sorry we cannot take your call, but if you leave your name, number, and home address, we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hey, Chris Murphy, Reese on the radio here, News Talk 1080 WTIC, also president of your fan club. How you doing, sir? Hey, I've been trying to get in touch with you. You gave a speech at the Capitol. You seem to have suggested that USAID was funding freedom fighters across the globe. Are you talking about regime change? I mean, are we funding rebels who are overthrowing governments? I wasn't really sure about what you were talking about on the Capitol, and my audience, and of course me, would like to understand what's going on. People have been asking me, as president of your fan club, exactly what you meant. It sounded just a little bit like you may have been saying something illegal. So if you could, give us a call, 860-522-WTIC. That's 860-522-9842. Love you. Yeah. My message to Chris Murphy, I'm going to leave one every week until I can get him on the phone to see if he can answer some questions, burning questions based upon things that he said, which here was one of them this week. Here's Chris Murphy talking about what's going on with USAID and why we need to stop Elon Musk.
Elon Musk has been floating all sorts of awful, terrible conspiracy theories about what happens at USAID. Let's make it very clear that every single day, America is safer because of what happens at USAID. USAID fights terrorist groups all across this world, making sure that we address the underlying causes for a retreat to terrorism. USAID chases China all around the world, making sure that China doesn't monopolize contracts for critical minerals and port infrastructure all around the world.
I'm sorry, we're chasing terrorists around the world, USAID? I thought we were just funding people with this money. What does it mean we're chasing people?
It supports freedom fighters everywhere in this world. Up until yesterday, delivering firewood, for instance, to the brave Ukrainian defenders on the Eastern Front.
Wait, USAID is delivering firewood to Ukraine? Whoa! Hold on there, Chris Murphy. I didn't know that. Hurry up and get that funding back. Firewood, you say? This is what he put out as relevant info? What's with the freedom? What freedom fighters are we funding? Is anyone going to ask, did anyone find that suspicious? It shouldn't have bothered me. Exactly. Rama says chasing people. Wouldn't that be USRAID, like U.S. raid? Yes. This sounds like a military arm of the government. We're chasing down terrorists. And when he starts talking about the aid that we give, like we're the Red Cross, we're handing out firewood? Firewood is his argument?
But let's not pull any punches about why this is happening. Elon Musk makes billions of dollars based off of his business with China. And China is cheering at this action today. There is no question that the billionaire class trying to take over our government right now is doing it based on self-interest. Their belief that if they can make us weaker in the world, if they can elevate their business partners all around the world, that they will gain the benefit.
Okay, help me understand this. It's 1% of government spending. 1%. This funding is going to make us weaker around the world. Just 1%? We couldn't get this many people out for funding for North Carolina or the LA fires. We didn't even see that for this. For real suffering. We didn't see this for any of the deaths that happened with illegals. We didn't even see this when we had a surge at the border. None of it. None of it. And now this guy's sitting up here. They're outside. We're talking about every camera from every network across the globe. That's what these guys are outside screaming about. And again, this is the part I can't seem to understand. This is, what's his name? Dr. Atul Gawande. I guess he used to be one of the directors for USAID. This is him on CNN talking about what's going to happen when this 1%, folks, 1% is done away with.
Based on these changes, when they go into effect Friday, as a result, do you think people will die?
People already are. The pause is 2 weeks old. This is now the firing of the crew and the loss of the entire capacity for the United States.
Oh my God, people are dying? Why isn't anybody getting on a plane and going to the places where they're dying? I mean, can't we just see the people that are dying? If people were dying because if anything, you want to prove what Elon Musk is doing is causing strife across the world, causing strife in these regions where people are dying, there'd be some camera footage of it, right? At least somebody would be running out there. I mean, there was more attention given to Springfield, Ohio, when Donald Trump said they were eating the dogs and eating the cats. They sent everybody from their newsrooms to a little town in Ohio. Now people are dying. There's not one camera in sight. We can't get one video? How about audio? Maybe a phone call. People are dying. That's how important this is, but we've got no record of it. People were asking Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, are you eating dogs or cats? It's really, really important that we know that.
China and Russia are celebrating. Governments, I know, I've spoken to ministers of health, they are calling them, asking China, can you backstop these programs that America is walking away from?
I'm sorry, isn't that a good thing? We stepped away, that means other people step up? Oh, is it bad that they step up? It must be Americans? It's 1%.
Can you make sure our people don't die from malaria?
What has China told you so far? Did China say, screw them? What about Russia? Did Russia say, we got your back? That should have been the next line. It should have been USAID has stopped funding these things and Russia and China have stepped in. No, they haven't stepped in. Why haven't they?
You make sure that 20 million people with HIV who now, as of last week, stopped being able to get medication that is keeping them alive, that this can be solved. They've been trying for this, for undermining the U.S. in this way for decades.
So you mean to tell me that because USAID has stopped funding these people with HIV, that China is sitting and Russia is sitting on the back? So we can't wait that we can get medication to people with AIDS in Africa. Boy, you let the United States drop that ball, we're going to fill that gap. Do you think people in China were screaming to Xi Jinping, Xi Jinping, we got 2 million people in Africa with AIDS. Yeah, Yeah, the United States just stopped funding them. Yeah, but you think this is strategically smart for us to go in there and help them? Absolutely. Knock it off. Please knock it off. This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing to hear these people. Let's go to the phones. Oh, goodness gracious. See, I have to fix this darn computer because it will actually time me out in 3 seconds. And there we go. All right. What's going on, Courtney Ann? How are you, dear?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. What do you got?
Actually, I have a question and a statement.
Okay.
Let me make sure you can hear me good though. Okay, so it kind of is going back to what you kind of were first talking about when you were kind of talking about Gaza, but you were kind of like
I was making a
like
comparison
America.
to what our inner cities are like and the same situation in Gaza, saying that, you know, we have politicians who are fomenting that fear and angst in its communities to keep making sure that they are reliant on those politicians. And that's the same thing that's happening in Gaza, without a doubt. Iran is constantly fomenting those people by giving them scraps.
Right. And that's what I wanted to speak on. So you actually put something into the most perfect perspective. I could never have put it like this. You don't even realize it. So you know how you were saying, like, telling these little minority kids that, you know, you're nothing and all that, right? I think it's actually the opposite. I think that the frustration is from knowing we live in a land of opportunity. We know, as a Black woman, I know that I have the same opportunity as everybody else. It might be a little different, my journey, but I do have that. But to live in a area of poverty and to know that, and to feel like you're doing everything you can and still look around and nothing's changed.
Right.
To still not be given a good education, to still not be, there's so many things, and then to be chastised or, yelled at because you're trying to play a victim. Oh, you're trying to play a victim. No, it's a big game of, we don't understand. Why are we still living like this? And so now it creates anger. Now it creates resentment. And that's where we're at.
Yeah, it's the constant frustration because, when you're telling people, and I used to say this to young kids in the inner city, Alphabet City in particular, I would ask those kids, have you ever been outside of your community? And they would go, well, what do you mean? Like, have you ever been to, like, when I lived in Manhattan, I would say, have you ever been to Chelsea? Have you ever been on the Upper West Side? Have you ever played basketball on the Upper East Side? It's for free. It's a public park. Go up there and go hang out with the wealthy white kids who live up on the Upper West Side and go play a game of basketball, sort of network through friendship. I'm not saying you should get a job from them, but go up there and actually network them and sort of broaden your horizons, because these kids you'll probably have lunch with, maybe have a soda with, and talk and communicate, and you'll learn about each other's backgrounds. And these young kids from the inner city would go, why would I go all the way up there? I'm like, to meet new people. He goes, no, those people don't want to talk to me. I'm like, how do you know? You've never been there. He goes, nah, everybody here, we just stick to ourselves because we know us. We don't really know them. So it's that fear of going up there, and they have this impression that when I worked for U-Haul and I had to go to West Virginia from the Northern Virginia area, Black kids at the barbershop told me, you go all the way to West Virginia? They don't like Black people up there. And I said, have you ever been? And they go, nah, that's what everybody knows. I'm like, no, they don't. I work there every day. So I almost feel like that's the situation with, if all you're taught in Gaza is to hate Jews, if anybody were to walk into Gaza and say, have you ever been to Tel Aviv? And they would go, nah. It's like, why? It's like, oh, those people will hurt you out there.
So the real, well, it's not even a question. I feel like the answer is right here in our face. The real answer is, this is a formula that all countries are using against their people.
And that's the point I'm making.
But the other point to that is, and you know why? Because that's the system that they've created. That's what makes it go around. There has to be a poor people. Everybody cannot be rich. It wouldn't work.
That's right.
It literally
exactly.
wouldn't work.
How do you get your agenda moving? Is by turning one against the other. It's always about opposition. You need victim, victor. You need victim, victor, and you need oppressor, oppress. And that's the lens in which they work. And when they get into power, in order to keep it, you have to make sure that those people are perpetually either in poverty or in angst or in frustration, so that you can keep telling them, I'm here to save the day.
Right. Which brings me to my question I want to ask you.
Real quick, and then I'll go to a break.
Okay, real quick. what does that world look like? The world that you said where we say enough is enough. Like, how is that possible? Because I look at it and I say we have become a world of people that don't know how to think for themselves. So if I tear all down the whole thinking structure that thought for them, what do we have? Like, what are we going to like?
I'm going to answer that when we come back from a break. Thanks, Courtney. I really appreciate it. That's a good question. I'll tell you when we come back. Stick around. More news, more views when we return. It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles? Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où?
Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. Really learn another language? It starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold.
That
Now
scared
try
the hell out of
Babbel
me.
for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that
It was a
fits
good one,
your
Rama.
needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/radio. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/.
Here we go.
That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
The self-proclaimed love child of Rush Limbaugh.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
In case you didn't know, it is Whack Job Wednesday. And Whack Job Wednesday is an opportunity to talk about all the things that you think are conspiracy theories that are all turning out to be true. We're going to get so deep into USAID today because I got audio clips and I've got commentary, this, that, and the third. Simsbury Joe shared something on X yesterday, I think it was. I had to get back to it. I had so much stuff going on, and I said, don't forget, Simsbury Joe, he posted that thing. And I went and I looked it up, and then I saw it, and it was this whole layout of all of this crazy stuff. I think I even got, I thought I grabbed some graphics from it, but I probably didn't. But there's a whole bunch of stuff. So if you've got some whack job stuff based upon this USAID that I may have missed, please call up and share it with us at 860-522-WTIC. Let me answer Courtney's question. If you are just joining us, Courtney, and from Real and Raw, all the way in Fresno, California, asked a question about my opening monologue, that when it becomes a day when everyone opens their eyes and they see that they're being used to foment hate so that they can keep the people in power, what does that look like? And I can only equate it to a bunch of people coming out of a trance. That's the way, like, imagine the Stepford Wives all coming out of their trance simultaneously. And I think a lot of it has to do with critical thinking. I think that's the reason why they want these kids educated in the public schools, because they want them to be dumb and never answer questions and just be their little worker bees. Question nothing. You can't beat City Hall. Do as you're told. But I think that day, Courtney, is when people start to come out of that trance, when things don't make sense. And I think that's what happened in the November 5th election. I think there were a lot of people who realized that what they were being asked to do defied logic, and it affects them in a home. I used to say this. I used to hear this, I should say. And I used to get angry when they said it, but it really rings true today. And for those people I sort of poo-pooed this statement, I apologize. People used to say about Republicans don't care about anything until it happens to them. They used to say that about the drug epidemic. Nobody cared about crack when it was in the inner city, but then when it went to Wall Street, everybody cared. And I used to poo-poo that. And I used to say, well, why didn't you care about it? But the truth is in that. There's a kernel of truth in all of that. We rarely ever respond to things that are happening in the world until they affect us, because most of us just want to be left alone. Nah, I don't want to have to deal with that because it doesn't involve me. And then it creeps into your little space, and then you start saying, holy crap, where did this come from? And then you have to take action. So I think that's what's going to happen in our world. I think it's going to happen to every one of them. Every one of these crazy things are going to start creeping into our daily lives. And people are going to say, no, this doesn't make sense. I can't stand for it. Let's get our first check of the traffic. See if you can stand for some of that with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. How we doing out there, sir?
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into the Hartford area right now, overall, we're in pretty good shape out here. It looks like you're seeing some delays now on the eastbound side of I-84 as you move from exit 46 Sisson Avenue into the downtown tunnel, down to the Bulkley. Westbound 84 is tied up, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney Street. Southbound side of 91, that looks tight from 33 down to 32A and B. Now, if you're on the southbound side of I-91, heavy delays now from exit 20 Country Club Road in Middletown down to exit 17 in Meriden. We have an accident taking out the right and center lane. Only the left lane gets by, so stay left there. Northbound 91, that moves well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291, 384, no issues. 2 eastbounds moving well. Glastonbury into Marlborough. If you're heading into Middletown, both sides of 9 a little heavy as you approach the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound in Waterbury, delays 26 in Cheshire to 25. And we're seeing some road work right now on the northbound side of Route 8. You're going to see delays from exit 14 in Derby up to exit 18 in Seymour. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, the rest of our Wednesday afternoon, it remains mostly cloudy. It'll be colder. The high of 30. Going to feel like it's down in the 20s with a breeze out of the northwest. Tonight, mostly cloudy. It'll be cold again. The low down to 17. Now, heading through the day Thursday, snow, sleet, and freezing rain in the morning, followed by 1 to 3 inches of snow, turning to ice in the afternoon, the high 34. Then Friday, well, it'll be windy with a mix of clouds and sun, the high of 38. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99.
Be right back.
A year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
30 degrees, 4 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Part of Governor Lamont's budget address touched on increased drug costs. He offered this idea.
So unless you have a better idea, I propose that we cap generic drug cost growth at CPI at the rate of inflation. Cap it. The drug companies got their rate of return for innovation during the patent period, and we have held down costs for insulin, and we can help down costs for your generic drugs as well.
The governor suggests importing pharmaceuticals from Canada at less cost. A change to the fiscal guardrails. The governor would allow more spending under the volatility cap, amounting to $600 million in additional spending over the next 2 years. House Republican leader Vin Candelora claims that means Lamont has waved the white flag on the guardrails. There's international condemnation for President Trump's statement that he'd like to see the U.S. seize Gaza. The BBC's Yolande Nell reports.
President Trump's first major outline of Middle East policy shattered decades of U.S. thinking on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and was swiftly rejected by regional powers, including Jordan and Egypt, which the U.S. leader has urged to take in more Gazans. Saudi Arabia said Palestinians would not budge from their land, while the Palestinian Authority said peace and stability would only come with the creation of an independent Palestinian state.
The White House calls a potential U.S. takeover of Gaza an out-of-the-box idea. Republicans, the Justice Department, and the FBI are allowing the continued presence inside government agencies by Elon Musk and his team of young tech gurus. Meantime, Democrats protested outside the International Relief Agency, USAID.
Elon Musk has got to go.
Voices shaking with anger, protesters lashed out at Elon Musk and the White House's task force, known as DOGE, over its targeting of thousands of USAID employees and contractors. Democratic California Representative John Garamendi.
He has absolutely no right in shutting down USAID.
The White House has been shutting down programs it says are wasteful. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Democrats say Musk has no right to shut down agencies or to infiltrate computer systems as he has at the Treasury. U.S. aid staffers worldwide are packing up their households after a Trump administration order pulling them off the job by the end of the week. A federal judge has ordered a second nationwide pause of President Trump's executive order seeking to end birthright citizenship. An executive order being signed today by the president would attempt to ban transgender women from women's sports. Connecticut's DOT says it's ready for the mix of wintry weather expected tomorrow, snow and ice expected during the morning commute. DOT spokesman Josh Morgan says it won't be falling at an ideal cleanup or travel time, unlike recent overnight storms.
We are advising people, if they are able to work from home, to do so. If they are able to delay travel to keep those vehicle volumes lower on the roads, that would be incredibly helpful for us. But we certainly understand not everyone has that privilege and opportunity to do so. So if you have to head out tomorrow, slow down, stay alert.
The U.S. impact of the Trump tariffs on China.
Electronics is the biggest category impacted by the 10% tariff, with the Consumer Technology Association reporting that China is responsible for nearly 80% of smartphone and tablet imports in the U.S. Most of Apple's iPhones are made in China, but the company has been gradually increasing production in India to offset reliance on China. Clothing, furniture, and toys are other popular Chinese imports, with Barbie maker Mattel reporting in its earnings that it plans to raise prices and diversify its supply chain to offset the China tariff.
CBS's Jason Brooks. Without giving a reason, the U.S. Postal Service has reversed a statement from yesterday when it said it would ban all inbound packages from China. They are still allowed as the service works to put a collection process in place for the tariffs. On Wall Street today, the Dow was up 317 points, S&P climbing 24 points, NASDAQ was up 38 points. In sports, NHL tonight, Bruins at the Rangers. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
A new president is sworn in. America's greatness is being restored. And there's breaking news every minute. Now, tens of millions of Americans are turning off Fox and CNN and tuning in to Newsmax for the breaking information they really need to know. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top news brands in America. Find it yourself on all major cable systems and on your TV or smartphone store. Just download the Newsmax app for free and start watching. You'll get great shows with Rob Schmidt, Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and Carl Higbie, and more. Find out why millions of Americans have made the switch. Even President Trump says Newsmax is terrific, and he's watching. So make the switch to Newsmax. Check us out on cable and satellite TV or download the Newsmax app today. Watch us anytime, anywhere. Remember, Newsmax is real news for real people.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC, and I think you know what time it is.
This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Do I look that stupid? Yes, you do.
Well, it's only been 17 days, folks, And it's already happened.
And I rise today, Mr. Speaker, with a to whom it may concern message. To whom it may concern, ethnic cleansing in Gaza is not a joke, especially when it emanates from the President of the United States, the most powerful person in the world, when he has the ability to perfect what he says. Ethnic cleansing in Gaza is no joke, and the Prime Minister of Israel should be ashamed, knowing the history of his people, to stand there and allow such things to be said. I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done.
Again. Just again. Do we need to go through this? Dastardly deeds. Were they dick dastardly deeds? I said it before and I'll say it again. Now I hate 2 Al Greens. It used to be just one. Now I hate both of them. Yes, that's the stupidest thing I read today. Representative Al Green, not even the singing one, is writing articles of impeachment. Let's get another check of the traffic from Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. I know you're an Al Green fan. You got to be, Mark. Who's not there yet? There he is.
Big Al Green fan.
Yeah.
Reverend Al?
That's right.
What a voice. What a voice. Listen to this voice. Come on.
He sounds like hot grits.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If that's what he sounds like, I want more of it.
You don't remember the story about the woman throwing hot grits on him?
No.
Yes, while he was in the
hot
bathtub.
grits?
Yes.
So Al Green is going to impeach the president.
Yeah, how boring. Just say, come on, man.
Let's get a little more creative than that.
Exactly.
Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, Southland 91 delays 33 down to 32 A and B. And then look out for a crash in Meriden. It is 91 southbound, and it is just before exit 17 for the Wilbercross Parkway. And right now, they've got the right and center lanes blocked, only getting by in the left lane. Delays are approaching exit 20, Country Club Road behind that. Now, if you're northbound 91, that moves very well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up 56 Governor Street out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound is tight from 46 into the tunnel. 291, 384 okay east of the river. 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound's a little tight as you approach the Aragoni Bridge. Also 9 northbound slowing from I-91 up to exit 31 in Berlin. Westbound 84, Cheshire into Waterbury tight 26 to 25. Got some slow traffic northbound Route 8 from 14 in Derby up to exit 18 in Seymour with some road work that was going on there. And 91 in the southbound in the Parkway southbound moving well toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
As we make our way through tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy and quite cold, the low down to 18. Now, that sets the table for a messy start to our Thursday with areas of freezing drizzle in the afternoon. Until then, 1 to 3 inches of snow before it turns to ice later in the morning. So be aware it is going to be very messy throughout the day. The high 33, then areas of drizzle in the evening for Thursday night. Temperatures will rise above freezing. It'll become clear, but the low hits 31 first. Windy with a mix of clouds and sun for Friday with a high of 38. It's 29 in Bristol right now, 32 for Danbury, 30 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Does your child need a dentist? Make their first impression a great one at Columbia Dental. In our Manchester and Rocky Hill offices, we specialize in pediatric dentistry, creating a positive and stress-free experience for your little one. Visit columbiadental.com today.
For quality vinyl siding, the Peter L. Brown Company is your best choice. It's winter, and we need to keep our crews busy, so ask us about our winter specials. Please visit peterlbrown.com for roofing, siding, windows, and doors.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or at CVS. That's newnordicusa.com.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
ZipRecruiter place. ZipRecruiter is the
Ready,
place
go.
for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Reese on the radio is getting ready to drop some knowledge
On WTIC.
Drop it.
1080.
I got to give everybody in the chat room props. My text messages are blowing up. Let me tell you why. I'm giving everybody the props that they are. When I heard the Al Green audio, when he said the word dastardly, I knew that the scallywags were going to come out of the woodworks and start. Like, it didn't matter what else he said. As soon as he said the word dastardly, I knew that was going to catch on. I was like, oh my God, why would he give us that? Like, why give us such a gift? The whole time I was listening to it, I listened to it 3 times. When he says dastardly deeds, I was like, where is this guy coming from? Did he watch, like, Penelope Pit Stop before he came on the floor? Like, why would he use that word? I feel like he should have ended by saying, you haven't heard the last of me. I wanted to bring that back. Like, I would end an argument like that and be like, be get into a beef with someone and be like, well, you haven't heard the last of me. I want to say that in a customer service phone call. Like, somebody can't help me at the bank. Well, you haven't heard the last of me. Dastardly deeds. And of course, Rama and Julie in Boston, they come back with the exact same quote, dastardly deeds done dirt cheap, which I thought was hilarious. Great minds think alike. Okay, before we get to the phone calls, be patient with me. Be patient, because this thing going on with USAID is incredible, because it was bad enough that we knew that they were spending money on all of these crazy things. You might remember it was, who was the congressman from Florida who was talking to here, what was her name? Oh, why am I forgetting? Margaret Brennan. Yes, here it is. Margaret Brennan talking about it being 1% of the budget. But this was the representative Mast out of Florida explaining to her what this money was going to.
If you want to take a look at the State Department, where DEI has been a priority over, let's say, diplomacy in many accounts, I could give you hundreds of examples of where they were authorizing. Sure, let's list them off. $500,000 to expand atheism in Nepal, $50,000 to do, let's see, a transgender opera in Colombia, $47,000 to do an LGBTQ trans comic book in Peru, $20,000 a pop to do drag shows in Ecuador. Shall I continue with more examples of where DEI
it
was the
certainly
priority?
seems like there could be a review of things. Foreign aid, as you know, is less than 1% of the entire federal budget. So we're talking small amounts of money by comparison.
So why is everybody losing their minds about ending it if it's only 1%? I wouldn't lose my mind over something silly like that. And by the way, why are the employees taking down their pride flags inside the offices?
USAID employee Christina Dry described the scene.
Doge was in the building. We took down our pride flags. I took out any books I felt would be incriminating. No one was talking. We heard they started taking transcripts automatically of all of our Google Meets.
Yeah. They seemed like they were trying to cover things up. All of that seemed incredibly weird to me. And then this happened, which I thought was insane that we found this out. This was, let me see, where's the Politico ad? Oh, yeah, here it is. This was inside the White House press briefing today.
USAID has gotten a lot of attention the last couple of days with some of these bizarre things that we've been, taxpayers have been funding. Now it looks like there are a couple media outlets that have been dragged into this conversation as far as USAID funding as well. Does the president have any comment on that?
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The Doge team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort.
Yeah, which seems like a smart idea. But guess what? No more than, a half an hour ago, we get breaking news. Turns out Politico wasn't the only people getting money. Looks like $4.5 million, if not more, was going to none other than the New York Times from USAID. Do you know what a Politico subscription is? It's $200 a year. For some odd reason, USAID was paying 40,000 subscriptions to Politico. They're paying for 40,000 of them. That's the tune of $8.1 million. For what? With everybody screaming and hollering about misinformation, disinformation, trusted news media. We had the federal government funding news operations. And these people want to talk. This is what they're standing out in the street for, telling they need to get a handle on the mis and disinformation that's cluttering. Are we going to find out Facebook got money? Are we going to find out that Twitter got money? Who else are we going to find out got money? How much federal money was out there? 1% of federal funding was going out of USAID. Come on, man. No one's falling for this nonsense. It's getting ridiculous now. 860-522-WTIC. Sean's in Meriden. How we doing, Sean? Sean?
Yeah.
Hey.
How you doing? Real quick, I wish Senator Murphy would work as hard for Connecticut as he's working for the transgenders in guacamole. It's amazing. And part of it, I did work for 21 years in the inner city of Hartford as a preservation worker. And when I shared with some of my clients that they didn't have to stay in the poverty loop and they could still have their home and they could still have opportunity and stuff like that, they loved it. And they changed because it benefited them. I said, really, my job is to get rid of me.
That's right.
And I had clients for 21 years, and I only got in trouble when I refused to follow the government's recommendation for a young man who didn't need to be in the hospital, but they wanted him in the hospital because they would get funding for the hospital, then they would get funding for when he came home. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. And so I said, because he doesn't need it, because then it stays with his record forever. And I wasn't willing to do that. But I also, at the same time, was doing youth ministries work in Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Yeah.
White as white can be. And we went to Atlantis, Georgia, Americus, Georgia, to do missions work. And those kids had never been in those poverty areas where they literally lived in shacks.
Wow.
And they were, and actually we worked with Habitat to help them move into a home. And then they actually were burning their shacks in their home in their wood burning stove.
Wow.
So people will go in their own best interest, make the adjustments they need to make because it benefits them. If you help them understand that.
That's all you need to do.
I see that when you help what I hear about the Democrats right now and when they go on apoplectic is the fact that they basically got caught with their pants down.
That's right.
And they're like pissed off that, okay, 1% of our GDP is $69 billion with a B dollars.
And it's every year. Exactly right. It's every year.
What can you do in North Carolina, in Hawaii, in Virginia, with all these, in Pennsylvania for the train wreck? What can you do for Americans with that money? And that's all Doge is looking to do. And suddenly you have a problem with it because your cash cow in which you got kickback somehow.
Exactly.
I don't know how yet.
Oh, it's always a slush fund. It's always a slush fund, Sean. That's always what it is. Thank you, boss man. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Simsbury Joe real quick. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, the magic word that Sean just used is kickbacks.
Yep.
That money absolutely 100% flowed to congressmen and senators because even if we looked at what their investments were, I guarantee their investments, even with a successful insider knowledge, did not match up to the kind of wealth that they have. It doesn't, because you'd have to hit it perfectly every single time to get to the numbers they're at.
The part that I'm concerned about, Joe, I'll let you go into what you want, because I know you want to get into USAID. The part that bothers me the most about this, now that we're finding out that there were news organizations that were getting money from this, it begs the question, why are they not reporting about it? This will make them even more reluctant to report on it, because as they dig deeper in the books, they're going to find all the people who, in essence, are in cahoots with the federal government. They won't report on themselves. So, in essence, they almost feel like no one's going to know because they don't have to tell on themselves. But I know you wanted to add something to this because this thing has been going on all week.
Yeah, so there's a rumor going around that is a pretty strong rumor that even with what we've seen with USAID so far, that in the next 48 hours there's going to be something that's going to blow away everything that's come prior. And then there's another rumor with Congresswoman Anna Paulina, where she's talking about something that's going to change America that's coming out early next week. But with USAID, I just found this one out. So we all remember Bishop Mary Ann Budd, who acted so unbishopy, to make up a new word at the prayer breakfast. Well, it turns out that Mary Ann Budd runs Episcopal Migration Ministries.
That's right.
Which in 2023 got $53 million from USAID. So she stood up there and she ripped into Trump, not because she's a woman of God and oh, these poor people. And no, he hurt her business.
That's right.
It's simple. He hurt her business.
Yeah, again, this is sort of like my opening monologue yesterday. You have all these people who are virtue signaling, screaming and hollering about how they care so much about these people. They care so much about their well-being. They wish for them to live in peace and harmony, and you to see their plight. And you find out that on the back end, they're pocketing the money. They're using those folks to line their own pockets. That poor bishop who was made to feel like a hero on the left, on The View, on MSNBC, she's just so caring and so needy, and turns around $53 million by USAID. And I thought these people were supposed to live in some sort of poverty. I thought they were supposed to be like
I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. Finding that out I saw that story yesterday, and I just went, gosh, these people. That's why I never talked about it, because again, every time you hear these people talk about how humble and noble that they are, they all turn out to be frauds. Always.
And the more that comes out about USAID, I'm going to go back to an old record of mine. I continue to say, the more we're going to see who in our society is mentally ill, not who is in disagreement on policy.
Yep.
Who is mentally ill, because we're starting to see some people on the Democrat side that are saying, wow, this is not good. I didn't even know this. I don't like this. They're good. I'm good with them.
Yep.
But then there are the others that they're certifiable.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to keep fighting. Trump is this. Trump is that. I don't care if we're giving all this money. We are truly going to see the mentally ill.
Yep.
And you can't reason with a mentally ill. That's my message.
I'm in an argument with somebody who is in the military, and he is screaming and hollering about the people who have been sent home on leave in USAID. And I simply posted on my Facebook page, I wish the people who don't pay taxes, because there are some people in the military who they don't pay taxes. That's their, constitutional gift as people who serve our country. I said, I wish the people who don't pay taxes would stop telling the rest of us that we're not allowed to find out what they're doing with ours. So just, can you kind of shut the F up? We'd appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. We'll take a break. Let's get another check of your traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. How we doing, Mark?
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading in toward Hartford right now, southbound 91, look for delays 33 down to 32A and B. And then you're going to see some slow traffic now as you move between exit 23 and 22, Rocky Hill into Cromwell. And then you're back in some very, very heavy traffic right now from 21 at Cromwell all the way down to exit 17 in Meriden. We have an accident there that is blocking the right and center lane, so only the left lane is open. Stay left there. Northbound 91's okay. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tied up just after 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing approaching 46 into the tunnel. 291, 384, that's okay. 2 westbound's a little slow. Exit 4 to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. Both sides of 9 a little heavy as you approach the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. 9 northbound slowing again, 30 to 31 in Berlin. If you are traveling on southbound Route 9, you'll see some slow traffic moving between exit 33 and 32 in Berlin. 84 westbound Waterbury slowing 26 in Cheshire to 25 in Waterbury. Route 8 northbound, you're going to see slow traffic now from 14 in Derby up to exit 18 in Seymour with some road work there. And 91 in the Parkway, both moving well, heading down in toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather. Well, the rest of our Wednesday afternoon, it remains mostly cloudy. It'll be colder. The high of 30. Going to feel like it's down in the 20s with a breeze out of the northwest. Tonight, mostly cloudy. It'll be cold again. The low down to 17. Now, heading through the day Thursday, snow, sleet, and freezing rain in the morning, followed by 1 to 3 inches of snow, turning to ice in the afternoon, the high 34. Then Friday, well, it'll be windy with a mix of clouds and sun, the high of 38. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather
Yeah,
Center.
Bushwhacker, you're right
And
on
now,
point with
a
that.
WTIC News Update.
28 degrees in Hartford at 4:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Among the proposals outlined in Governor Lamont's 2-year state budget presented to lawmakers today, a hike in the property tax credit.
And we are proposing an increase to $350 per homeowner. That's up $50 from last year alone. $350. We're trying to help our mayors and our first selectmen hold the line on property taxes, which are high compared to our peers.
Lamont also seeking additional funding for special ed, school construction, and more affordable housing. Not everyone is thrilled. The Connecticut Hospital Association says Nowhere in the budget does Lamont address a $1 billion plus Medicaid shortfall. House Republican leader Vin Candelora called the address uninspired and deeply concerning. An out-of-the-box idea, that's what White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt calls President Trump's sudden announcement last night that he'd like to see the U.S. take over Gaza. That would displace more than 2 million people. There's no answer for where they would go.
Jordan and Egypt really aren't in a position to take hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from Gaza, even though they do have a lot of land in the Sinai Peninsula and Jordan. Their economies couldn't absorb hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. And then, of course, there's the danger of radicalization of that population, which could bring instability to those U.S. allies.
CBS's Robert Berger. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas calls Trump's plan a serious violation of international law. Democrats protest today outside the Worldwide Relief Agency, USAID. The Trump administration has virtually shut it down. Employees ordered off the job by the end of the week. Democrats call the move illegal. Meantime, there are other Trump-related protests around the country.
Reclaim our country. Take back our rights.
In Maryland's capital, Annapolis, protesters chanted, waving signs and denouncing President Trump and his ally, billionaire Elon Musk.
We cannot let our silence condone his actions.
In Boston, people wore and waved flags, one sign reading, "Make America Great Again," to support Trump. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
On Wall Street, the Dow up 317, S&P climbed 24 points, the NASDAQ was up 38 points. Sports, the Travelers Championship will once again be a signature event on the PGA Tour with a $20 million purse. It's set for June in Cromwell. Bruins at the Rangers tonight. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Hey everybody, Tom Shattuck here. This Sunday is the big game. Don't blame me. This would be much easier if I could just say this has finally come. Parties, football, libations, food, all the festivities we welcome every February. Question is, what if you're trying to lose weight but still enjoy watching this with friends? The answer, nothing. As I've told you before, Awaken 180 is built for real life scenarios. The reason I lost my 80 pounds, the program works. And another thing that's really important to me, this is not a big pharma experimental serum that you're taking or anything. There's no syringes involved. This is just good natural eating. Eat wings and meatballs while watching the have a beverage while betting on the live your life while enjoying the I think you get the point. Whether you're in the weight loss phase or in free lifelong maintenance, Awaken 180 won't get in the way of enjoying the big game. Reserve your consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. 844-346-1800.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids.
I'm doing
2
that,
dogs,
Rama. I'm
and
going
a
to do
full-time
it.
job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything, online to hybrid courses, lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start February 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, I promise we're coming back with your phone calls. So, guys, stay on the line, and I know the phones are busy. People always text me. It's like, hey, man, what's up with the phones? People are on the phones. I apologize. Anyway, but we'll get the phones in a second. Speaking earlier of breaking news, we have more breaking news. This one might be important because it is something that may lead to a settlement in the $10 billion lawsuit that Donald Trump has against CBS. Many of you are familiar with it. That lawsuit is about an interview that 60 Minutes did with Vice President Kamala Harris. And we all found out that through 60 Minutes, they sent out a tease of the interview of Kamala Harris talking about Benjamin Netanyahu, and then on air date changed her answer. And they were fighting for the transcript. So the FCC demanded that CBS hand it in, and CBS did. They complied, gave it to the FCC. The FCC did something that was unprecedented. They released the unedited version of the interview in its full context, no editing. And then immediately forcing 60 Minutes to release it themselves thereafter. Remember, something they refused to do when Trump demanded it. So now that the FCC has forced them to do it, so now there are rumors that they are going to settle. I think this is the tip of the iceberg before we get to the settlement. What that settlement will be, I don't know. But that is the breaking news so far. In fact, I'll read the pretty much the crux of what this says here. This one reporting from the Gateway Pundit, which says the Federal Communications Commission on Wednesday released the new raw 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris. Last week, it was reported that the FCC was investigating CBS's deceptively edited 60 Minutes interview with the former Democrat presidential candidate. President Trump's FCC chair, Brandon Carr, demanded that CBS hand over the unedited transcript of the infamous 60 Minutes interview. On Wednesday, the FCC released the unedited raw version of Harris's 60 Minutes interview, which is now available for everyone, and 60 Minutes did the same. 60 Minutes responded with a statement that read this: "We are posting the same transcripts and videos of our interview with Vice President Kamala Harris that we provided to the FCC. They show, consistent with 60 Minutes' repeated assurances to the public, that the 60 Minutes broadcast was not doctored or deceitful. In reporting the news, journalists regularly edit interviews for time, space, and clarity. It makes these edits. 60 Minutes is always guided by the truth and what we believe will be the most informative to the viewing public, all while working within the constraints of broadcast television." Sounds like an excuse to me, but you can read that if you want to, because it is available at the Gateway Pundit. It is their top fold story as if you know. If there's any other breakdowns of that, of course, we will go to it and let you know about it. So that is breaking news. The FCC has released the unedited transcript and video of the Kamala Harris interview. Let's get another check of our traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading toward Hartford right now, you're going to see delays southbound side of 91 from approaching 33 down to 32 A and B. Another bump between 23 and 22, slow moving Rocky Hill into Cromwell. And then you're in some real heavy traffic from 21 in Cromwell all the way down to exit 17 in Meriden. We have an accident down there, 91 southbound, and that is taking out the right and center lane. Only the left lane open, stay left. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown, up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Bulkley Bridge, out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound, you're tight. 46 Sisson Avenue into the Bulkley. 291 through 84, okay. 2 westbound's a little tight from exit 4, the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 9 north and southbound running slow at the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. 9 northbound is tight from exit 30 up to 31 in Berlin. You're heading into Waterbury. Westbound 84 delays in Cheshire, 26 up to 25.
He's getting sick again. I hear it.
Northbound, you've got slow traffic now from 14 in Derby up to exit 18 in Seymour. Southbound on the Parkway a little tight from exit 60 as you head toward the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Mostly cloudy, cold tonight. The low down to 17. That sets the table for a messy start to Thursday. Definitely give yourself some extra time. It is going to be very slick in the morning. 1 to 3 inches of snow turning to ice in the morning with areas of freezing drizzle in the afternoon. The high 34. Then areas of drizzle during the evening while temps remain above freezing before becoming clear and cold. The low down to 31 for Thursday night. Windy, sun and clouds on Friday. The high 38 is going to feel like 20s most of the day with the west-northwest winds cranking at 15 to 25. Then Saturday, mostly cloudy, the high of 35. Right now, it's 32 in Bridgeport. It's 30 in New London, 28 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
If better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
The law firm of Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott understands that divorce can be intimidating, and the decisions you make today will impact your life forever. Divorce is complicated. There's a lot at stake when considering your future. At Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott, our team of family attorneys have over 100 years of combined experience and understand every family law case is different. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer, you get a law firm. Call us at 860-CALL-BPS or visit bpslawyers.com. Katie Bissonette is responsible for the content of this ad.
When you're still looking for love, Valentine's sucks. Every restaurant is fully booked. Suddenly, all chocolates are heart-shaped, and all the PDA. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit ConsumerCellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
It's Reese on the radio. Ask your doctor if common sense is right for you. On News Talk 1080 WTIC.
I cannot believe it. I still have more breaking news. It couldn't get more of a breaking news day on News Talk 1080 WTIC. Benny Johnson is now reporting Politico may have to go out of business. This headline just brought over to me. Thank you. Julie in Boston just sent this to me. She said, this is the big, well, he says, Benny Johnson, this is the biggest scandal in news media. No employee at Politico got paid yesterday. First time ever the company missed a pay period. This is a crisis. And now we learn that Elon and Trump have just stopped the funding from USAID to Politico. So it means they have no money. So Politico, according to this story, is suggesting that Politico's existence was hedging on payments by USAID. That's how they survived. And we also know the New York Times was a failing organization, and they were getting money from USAID. So while all of these news media, I mean, what are we going to find? The Washington Post is in there too? Who else is in there? We know that they're hemorrhaging readers. We know that they're hemorrhaging advertising. Gosh, if MSNBC is on that list, it's a wrap, folks. Let's go to the phones. We got plenty of people holding. Let's get Kim and Cromwell. How we doing, my dear?
Hi. I'd just like to comment on Courtney's analysis.
Yes.
There's one person waking up. Is there some biblical religious saying that says, give a man a fish, you can eat for a day.
Right.
Give a man a fisherman's pole, you can fish for a lifetime. The greater part of humanity would be to try and give the person the tools to develop themselves so that they can be a positive, contributing citizen to society and own their own accomplishments as opposed to having to owe somebody higher up.
Yeah.
This is the problem with the Democratic philosophy today. And it's probably nurtured in their circles is to create this dependency relationship. They claim they're running for justice, fairness, civil rights, this, that, and the other thing. I think they're running because they want to keep a crisis going and just exploit it for their own validation.
This is something that I say to a lot of people in the Black community as well. Is that a fabric of that is in the most basic of any need for an individual to survive. And that is the ability to protect themselves. So when you have an
I think Lyndon Johnson nurtured this
right
well ahead of everybody else when he signed the Civil Rights Act. He knew this intuitively was to get them hooked on this idea as we're going to fight the other side.
Exactly.
We're going to bring people down. And you know what it's become? It's not become about fairness. It's become more of tit for tat, getting back at the other people, the bad politicians, rather than to try and move forward. In other words, I think the Democratic Party is still trying to get over its guilt in the Civil War.
Oh, no, I think it's even far worse than that. I believe that they have always been the totalitarians that they are. And what I was saying about the basic civil right of you being able to defend yourself, where are the strictest gun laws in our country? It's in the areas of the inner city. So in essence, telling you that even your basic survival is dependent on the state.
What it requires is for people to be able to discern what these politicians, and every 4 years, one pops up, oh, this guy's going to be the best in the world. The thing is, you try to have to move towards being as independent of government as to the extent that we can be. Okay, fix the problems in society, and there will always be problems, and humans live in tension. I understand that. Believe me, we're not perfect at all. But they have made a living on it. And then there's the cash cow, as you mentioned, with the Politico and these industries. They love being hooked to the government because there's no accountability. The money just keeps
because they
rolling
can't
out.
compete in the real world. Kim, that's the point. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What did he sign?
An executive order on restoring Title IX back to its former status. Now, this is really only good for his term.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to have to wait for the Supreme Court to take a case and settle this stuff once and for all, because if the GOP doesn't get in another time in 28, you can probably expect a reversal.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Kim. I think that's one, again, very, very poignant point. She's right on point with all of that. By the way, I think we got it in the bag in 2028. On Mondays with McGreevy, Rob McGreevy will be here. We're going to talk a little bit about 2028. He's been in Washington, and he and I were having a conversation the day before yesterday about J.D. Vance, and I'll preview that later on in the week. Let's move on. Let's go to Adam, who's in East Hartford. How we doing, Adam?
Good, Reese. Thanks for taking my call. I'd like to talk about the Mideast.
Yes, please.
You and I, you're very intelligent. Sometimes you'll have a good sense of humor, especially if something really isn't going to work, or it's really tough to get going. And that Mideast is really a hotbed. When you think about it, Genesis, the rock group Genesis with Phil Collins.
Sure.
Wind and Wuthering album. They sang about blood on the rooftops, and they said the Arabs and the Jews, boys, and they've been fighting forever. And the Palestinians, they're almost like an animal that has blood on their. I mean, not the innocent, law-abiding and behavioral parents and kids going to school, but the mean ones that show their bloody hands outside of an apartment building after they slaughtered some Israeli soldiers.
Yeah.
Or stabbed somebody. They're like animals, those ones, and they just got blood on their hands.
But I don't, you know what? Not that I'm making an excuse for them, Adam, but what I want to do, what I do believe is this, is that, look, what do we always say about racism and bigotry in this country, no matter who it is? The one thing that we say is that it's handed down, right? It's generationally passed down. It's not endemic of us. It's not an immutable characteristic. This is something that you will learn, because you can see little children all day, every day, of different colors hanging out with one another and loving one another. It's what they learn in life. It's sort of like their life lessons, or they hear things, or things become commonplace in their circles. And that's how this, either unity or racism is born. So with that, we have inside Gaza an apparatus outside of it, be it Iran or Iraq or any other fundamentalist group, constantly feeding children at a young age. If you watch those videos that PBS used to put out showing inside the Gazan schools, where they were asking the little 5, 6, 7-year-old boys what they wanted to be when they grew up, they said they wanted to be martyrs.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Hey, yep. Now, hey, I want to talk about blacks and racism, too, if I can make it brief.
Yeah, good.
You're a black man, and you and me, we're both made in the image of God. If you cut me or if you cut you, we both bleed red. But I was guilty of stereotyping. I asked a black guy in church one time if we're cut off by somebody with tinted windows in between Manchester and Hartford, sometimes we're guilty in our minds, and we thought this race did it or that race did it. And he said that's not racism. He says that's stereotyping.
Yes, there is a difference. There is a difference. But you know what? I always say this, I don't really have a problem with stereotyping. I don't. And I'll tell you why. Because if you really want to get rid of stereotyping, stop following the mold. Because you ask anybody, I mean, it doesn't matter. They'll call it stereotyping when you say it, but then a comedian will get on stage and talk about it like it's common. It's commonplace. So is it stereotyping if it's a zeitgeist? No. It's exactly what it is. It's not stereotyping is a means to demonize it. But when you're making fun of it or you're making light of it, it's not a stereotype anymore. It's common knowledge.
No, you're right. Now, I mean, not no, you're right, but yes, you're right. And I'll give you one example. I promise we get off the air. But the black rappers who call themselves the N-word and then call themselves for shooting each other with guns.
Yeah, exactly. And again, if you say that, and look, I know this because I've been in that game. I'm a failed rapper myself. I put out a demo tape and I went to a record label to try to get an album deal. And we performed right in front of him and played our demo. And a white man at the record label, Ted, I'm sorry, but you're not slapping enough hoes or shooting up enough N-words. A white man said that to me and said that he couldn't give us a deal because that was commonplace. The records that were selling were doing those things, and we weren't talking about that because we didn't live that lifestyle. We were talking about our own lifestyle. But he said, if you want to get a record deal here, that's the stuff you have to talk about. We refused, and we walked out. My rap career was over, but you know what? I stayed true to myself. I feel good about it.
Hey, you're on the radio, and we love you, and have a good evening, sir.
Thank you, man. You too. Let's go with my favorite adversary. Get ready. Hello, Tim.
Hello, Reese. Well, I'm so happy that so many Republicans are going back and looking at Trump's talks about how bad it is to do nation building. He would say this over and over again, spending millions of dollars and even billions of dollars trying to, prop up countries and everything like that. So now we have the proposal, and I want my beachfront condo in Gaza.
Oh, I love people who are saying that because it's one of those things that's sort of like it's a nice rub. But if I may, can I respond to the whole nation building thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. I don't remember Donald Trump suggesting that he was going to inject the political arm of the West Bank or Gaza at all. I don't think that he even implied that he was going to take, I think the word was used at the top of the hour, siege. He said
that word, we would own Gaza.
Yeah. But hold on. Does somebody own Gaza now?
Hardly.
Try yes. Try yes.
So,
just do yes. Just do yes. Hold on, Tim. Say yes.
Try doing military force.
Tim. No. Stop. This is not one of those places where you're going to jump all over the place. I did ask a question. We're having a dialogue. Does somebody own Gaza now? Yes or no? If you don't know, say I don't know.
Really, no. I don't. Yeah, there's a government.
Yes, somebody owns. Yes, somebody owns Gaza. Yes, we know that. Yeah. Everybody knows that. Somebody owns Gaza.
We want to take it over.
Okay, hold on. If indeed, and again, this is my big argument in the beginning of my opening monologue. Do you have a problem with us rebuilding that crap that is Gaza? It's dilapidated, bomb-filled ruin, and turning into a palatial place that Palestinians can return to where they have jobs and prosperity and an opportunity to grow versus what's there now. Because you only got two choices.
You're not.
Tim, it's called the dialogue. Tim, it's called the dialogue. Can you answer my question? What would you rather have? Us coming in and building it into a
2 million people being displaced.
Again, wait. It's not 2 million people displaced. I'm asking you, do you want them to return to Please stop interrupting me, sir. If you do it one more time, there's no reason to have a conversation. I will finish my question and you can answer that question. Would you rather?
Okay.
Would you rather they be returned to Gaza as it is today? Yes or no?
No, absolutely
Thank
not.
you. Then we don't
Not
have another.
returned.
Then guess what? Then we rebuild it for them. We tell them to come back where they have
We
jobs
re-
and an
we
opportunity
spend
to build.
Taxpayers that money, put military forces there.
What I
and
just
rebuild
said,
it and
what I
own
just
it.
said is reasonable because guess what? The Palestinians have never had. They've never had a beautiful country to come back to. And if we build a beautiful country for them to come back to where they're prosperous, where they can raise their kids so they can be better for themselves and they can be self-reliant, there's nothing else better than that. But this is the problem with liberals. You guys would rather pat yourselves on the back while they live in squalor. So you have somebody to call the press.
Hardly.
Then you
Now,
have to give me.
When is my chance? When is my chance to rebut that?
I will explain to you. And guess what, Craig? You did say the right thing. They are already displaced because they can't live there now. And I wouldn't send those people back there. They are returning there
now.
They're returning to trash.
People, it's their trash. Okay, it's not.
Oh,
our trash.
I forgot.
Not,
you know what,
not,
Tim? You
not.
just answered it to me. You just answered it, Tim.
I don't want to lose American lives in a Middle Eastern war. Okay.
Oh.
I want them to solve their own problems. I don't want to displace them to other countries, 2 million people, and create more terrorists in the long run.
Okay, stop for a second, Tim. Thank you for playing. Thank you for playing. This is my answer to you.
Just shut me off.
I'm not shutting you off. This is my answer to you. You said you don't want anybody spending any money over there. Okay, that's your right to not want it, but it's going to happen. I wonder how you feel about the inner city. I wonder how you feel. You don't want anybody to help them either? You don't want them to turn their homes. You don't want us to turn Detroit into a palatial city where people are prosperous? Do you not want to do that? Do you not want to send a National Guard that keeps the gangs from killing innocent children? Do you not want to spend you want to send our people there? All we're saying is that we're going to go there, we're going to clean the place out, and we're going to give them someplace to live, but you would rather send them back to trash. You should feel good about yourself. Pat yourself on the back, my friend. Let's get another check of our traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese,
you're getting sick, by the way.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into Hartford, southbound side of 91, delays 33, down to 32 A and B. Another slowdown, 23 to 22 in Rocky Hill. And 91 southbound is locked up from exit 21 in Cromwell all the way down to exit 17 in Meriden. Looks like that accident that was in the right and center lane, they pulled the camera back, so I'm assuming it's cleared now. So that delay should start to ease out now. It's going to take a while, though. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is slowing. 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. Now 291 through 84, no issues east of the river. 2 westbound slowing exit 4 to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. Both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. 9 northbound, you'll see some slow traffic from I-91 in Cromwell up to exit 34 in New Britain. 9 northbound, westbound 84 a little tight, 26 in Cheshire to 25 in Waterbury. If you are traveling southbound in the Wilbercross Parkway, look for an accident between 60 and the West Rock Tunnel. Looks like delays are back to exit 62 in North Haven. Behind that, 95 South New Haven slowing 44 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of our Wednesday afternoon, it remains mostly cloudy. It'll be colder. The high of 30. Going to feel like it's down in the 20s with a breeze out of the northwest. Tonight, mostly cloudy. It'll be cold again. The low down to 17. Now, heading through the day Thursday, snow, sleet, and freezing rain in the morning, followed by 1 to 3 inches of snow, turning to ice in the afternoon. The high 34. Then Friday, well, it'll be windy with a mix of clouds and sun. The high of 38. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
27 degrees in Hartford, 5 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Governor Lamont took the wraps off a 2-year, $55 billion budget plan, up by more than $1 billion in each of the next 2 years. There's a major investment in early childhood education and special ed. There's a $50 increase in the property tax credit. Lamont also suggesting $400 million to build the state's stockpile of housing.
That's workforce housing, affordable housing, supportive housing, multifamily housing. People want to be in Connecticut. People want to move to Connecticut. And the only thing slowing us down is a lack of housing.
A proposed change in the fiscal guardrails would allow $600 million in additional spending over the next 2 years. House Republican leader Vin Candelora says the governor is waving the white flag on the guardrails. There's international condemnation for President Trump's statement that he'd like to see the U.S. take over Gaza. That's the question of what would happen to more than 2 million Palestinian residents. The BBC's Mike Thompson reports.
Egypt and Jordan have both repeated that they won't take any displaced Palestinians from Gaza. Saudi Arabia and Qatar have also voiced their opposition, and Turkey has said the proposal shouldn't even be discussed. Many countries, however, perhaps wary of offending the powerful and unpredictable U.S. leader, have remained silent.
The White House calls a potential U.S. takeover of Gaza an out-of-the-box idea. Republicans, the Justice Department, the FBI, all allowing the continued presence inside government agencies by Elon Musk and his team of young tech gurus. Meantime, Democrats are protesting. Today they were at USAID, which is being virtually shut down by Musk. This is Senator Chris Van Hollen of Delaware.
Make no mistake about it. Elon Musk's effort to dismantle the Agency for International Development is a gift to China, it's a gift to Russia, it's a gift to our adversaries around the world.
USAID staffers worldwide are scrambling for answers and starting to pack up households. That's after a Trump administration order pulled them off the job by the end of the week. The federal judge orders a second nationwide pause of President Trump's executive order seeking to end birthright citizenship. An executive order signed this afternoon by the president would attempt to ban transgender women from women's sports.
It's called the No Men in Women's Sports Executive Order, which the Trump administration says will end the dangerous and unfair participation of men in women's sports. Shane Diamond is with the advocacy group GLAD.
This executive order that is specifically targeting transgender girls and women in sports realistically only affects a small number of transgender youth.
Trump put out a sweeping order on his first day in office calling for the federal government to define sex as only male or female.
Transgender people will continue to be part of this country and societies until long after President Trump has left office.
Matt Piper, CBS News.
The forecast is for snow and icy rain starting tomorrow morning, just in time for the workday commute. State DOT Communications Director Josh Morgan says road crews will be out in full force.
The Connecticut DOT snow fighting fleet is going to be out there in full force. We expect our municipal partners to be out there as well, and we're going to make sure that we're clearing those roads throughout the morning and into the afternoon on Thursday.
A man was seriously hurt when he was struck this morning by a school bus in Waterbury. Police say the 73-year-old was struck near Harpers Ferry Road and East Main Street just before 8:30. The injuries are serious but not believed to be life-threatening. There were 5 students and the driver on board the school bus. None were hurt. Private sector jobs added last month.
Payroll processor ADP reports a gain of 183,000 jobs in January, up from 176,000 in December, which was revised higher by 54,000 jobs. While growth was strong, ADP says consumer-facing industries like leisure and hospitality drove the hiring, while job growth was weaker in business services and manufacturing. ADP says wages rose 4.7% from a year earlier for job stayers, while job changers saw wages rise 6.8%.
Let's expand the conversation now with CNN military analyst and retired Air Force Colonel Cedric Layton and CNN Global Affairs analyst Kim Dozier. Thank you both. Always great to see you. Kim,
Bruins
aside
Rangers,
from being
the
highly
Travelers Championship will
unlikely
once
as
again be a
resolution
signature
for
event
Gaza,
of the PGA
these
Tour.
kind of comments
It's set,
also
of course,
serve
for June in
as a
Cromwell.
recruiting tool
For more, check
for
out
jihadis.
WTIC.com. I'm Dave Miller, WTIC 1080 News.
If you've been having your McMuffin with an iced coffee from somewhere else, now is a great time to reconsider.
Wake up to a warm sausage McMuffin with egg for $2.50 and add your favorite any size iced coffee in caramel, black, or French vanilla for just $1.29 during breakfast hours only. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture.
Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money. Now this is taxes.
Ready, go.
Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
It's the 5 o'clock focus. It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. Hey, it's Reese on the radio, NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. We are back. The 5 o'clock focus question, because, again, I understand there are a lot of people who are here or there about what Donald Trump said about the Gaza Strip, about the West Bank. And I'll admit, this is interesting. Not just Tim's phone call. There are a lot of people who are all over the place, but I want you to listen to this.
Let's expand the conversation now with CNN military analyst and retired Air Force Colonel Cedric Leighton and CNN Global Affairs analyst Kim Dozier. Thank you both. Always great to see you. Kim, aside from being highly unlikely as a resolution for Gaza, these kind of comments also serve as a recruiting tool for jihadi groups.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the third rail in Middle East politics. You do not fulfill the worst fears of everyone in the Middle East that the U.S. would be on Israel's side in all things by saying something like this. And this will be a recruiting poster for al-Qaeda, for ISIS, most of all for Hamas.
So I've got to ask the question, what's the problem here? We can just defeat those people, can't we? Are you suggesting that if this is a recruiting tool for those individuals that we just let them exist? Hell no. I mean, I don't understand this will be used as a recruiting tool. Yeah, and what? That sounds like somebody signing their death warrant to me, but I don't know. Am I insane? What do you think about what Donald Trump said? Because I know there are some mixed feelings about this. Not everybody's on board just because Trump said it. So I want to hear from you. 860-522-WTIC. 860-522-9842. Rebuilding Gaza. Americans' interest in rebuilding Gaza with other partners, good or bad, for that region or even for us. Let's get to Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center again. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading 91 southbound into downtown Hartford right now, you're going to see some slow traffic from 33 down to 32A and B. Another slowdown as you move between 23 and Rocky Hill and 22 in the Route 9 interchange in Cromwell. Delays again from exit 21 down to 19 in Meriden. That earlier accident between 18 and 17 has been cleared off the southbound side of 91. Now, if you're northbound 91, that moves well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slowing 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound is slowing a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 through 84 okay. Eastbound is moving well. Just a little tap of the brakes up by exit 5C in East Hartford. If you are heading 9 southbound, you're seeing some real heavy traffic now on the southbound side of 9 in Cromwell as you move up on exit 27. It looks like it's heavy right down into the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Traveling toward Waterbury, 84 westbound delays 26 up to 25 in Waterbury. If you're heading on the southbound side of the Parkway, look for delays now almost back to exit 63 in North Haven down to between 60 and the West Rock Tunnel. An accident reported there, so look out for the delays there. And if you're heading down in toward the New Haven area right now, 95 southbound delays from exit 46 to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For tonight, mostly cloudy, the low down to 17. A messy Thursday with 1 to 3 inches of snow turning to ice in the morning, then areas of freezing drizzle in the afternoon, the high up to 34. Still some areas of drizzle for Thursday evening while temps remain above freezing, then becoming clear, the low down to 31. Windy with clouds and sun Friday, the high 38, though it's going to feel like it's in the 20s at best most of the day with a strong cold west-northwest wind. Saturday, mostly cloudy, the high of 35. Currently, it is 27 in Waterbury, 28 in Bristol, 28 in Granby, also 28 in Hartford, I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son
Do
duo
not let
from
me
7
lose
a.m.
Tyrone.
to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203. 800-253-6203.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you it's this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Free at 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
It's the 5 o'clock focus. It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. All right, everybody, make sure you stay there. It's the 5 o'clock focus. This is the last hour of the show. Don't forget, we've got the last but not least call coming up where you can win a dozen bagels for a month for 6 months, courtesy of Between Rounds, our good sponsor. The Bagel Bakery and Sandwich Cafe located in South Windsor, Manchester, and Vernon. Again, the last but not least caller of the day. I see Tyrone in Springfield is there. Tyrone, don't you go nowhere. I want to get to you as soon as I possibly could. 5 o'clock focus. If you're just joining us, Donald Trump made this big news yesterday in his press conference with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in saying that the United States could pretty much take over the Gaza Strip and turn it into a paradise for Palestinians and if not the world, where people can live and thrive and work. And this has drawn some ire. People have lost their minds behind it. Even some people who are very strong supporters of Donald Trump seem to be, I don't know, either confused or not in agreement with this idea. And I understand it. And if you've got strong opinions, I want to hear, make your case. I've got some too. I haven't really expressed them, but I know exactly why people are losing their mind. Let's start off with, let's go to Dave in Ellington. How we doing, Dave?
Reese.
What's up?
That whole introduction to this call was so out of whack, it wasn't even funny.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I mean, it's like, I'm hearing you, then I'm hearing this other guy, and it's like, oh, let's go to Dave in Ellington. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Okay, maybe some cross thing going on the phone.
Cross lines?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know what happened.
What do you got for me, buddy?
Okay. Hey, so now that Donald Trump's in office, it's only been, 14 days?
17.
17 days. Okay, 17 days. Now everybody's in panic mode?
Yes. They didn't have anything to panic about with Joe Biden. You know, this you're looking at a bunch of rabbits in a turtle race.
He just said, okay, give him this, give him this, give him this. Okay, we'll give you this. Hey, guess what? We'll give you this, though.
You have to really think about it, though, Dave. They couldn't keep up. They could never keep up. They got so lazy. They had the news handed to them, and they were handing the news.
No, Reese. They
Yes.
kept up for a little while.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the Biden administration. Things were so lax
that's what
and
I'm talking
quiet.
about.
Yeah, exactly.
They kept up for a little while.
Mhm.
They kept up for maybe 3 or 4 months.
Right.
and then when the election came, it's like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Then they had to work.
What are we going to do now?
They have to work now.
Well,
I mean, that's usually how it
Democrats
goes.
Don't really want to work, do they?
No. Think about it. The old boss allowed you to be very lackadaisical and phone it in. They were nothing more than. Think about it, Dave. They were nothing more than stenographers for the former administration. Now they actually have to work, and they only have one agenda, right? To oppose this government, to oppose this regime in their view. And so now they have to work.
We already saw that the first time.
Oh, no, but what do you think? These people are going to change their stripes? They are who they are.
No, they're not going to. I know they're not going to change their stripes. But understand this. We've already seen it the first time. So what are you going to do the second time?
Yeah, but you know what? Hold on. Look at it this way, though, Dave. Who do you think they're writing? But Dave,
you get even think about doing
who do
anything
you
else.
think they're writing for? They're not writing for you. They're not writing for the audience. They're writing for themselves. These articles.
Reese, I'll put it to you this way.
Yeah.
Okay. No government official has ever got me a job in my entire life.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I know. And I agree with you.
No politician has ever helped me do anything.
And they're not going to.
No government official has ever helped me zip up my pants or go to the bathroom. Okay?
Dave, let me go. I got so many people on hold,
all
buddy.
you guys-
I love you, buddy. I love you. Mike is in Plainville. What's going on, Mike?
I got a good joke for you, a bagel joke for Friday.
Of course. Yeah, let's go. Oh, you're going to wait till Friday, or are you just going to give it to me now?
I got to wait till Friday. I
Okay.
have to analyze it if it's going to be clean enough or not.
Make it clean. What do you got otherwise?
The governor. Oh, people want to move to Connecticut and live here. People that are here like it here and they want to stay. Really? We're
I
gonna
don't
have
know.
affordable housing. We're gonna.
I heard that, and I
businesses
said
don't
to
even
myself,
want to stay here. They come in here and it's a stagnant environment, and they want to leave, and they leave after getting state aid.
try this on. Wait. Hold on. Wait. You just reminded me of something. Do you remember in 2022, Lamont was talking about how we were the abortion state? Where's that conversation gone? I thought that was the big draw. Why? He doesn't even talk about abortion anymore. What happened?
I don't know how to describe our governor. Maybe impotent. Maybe just.
Maybe.
How about insignificant? How about vacant?
Yeah. Listen, I can't get Lamont. I've got some other stuff that I need to get into him, but yeah, you're absolutely right. That whole speech was, it was so misguided.
Are you gonna give special education just because kids can't speak English? Why don't they learn how to speak English? There you go. That's your special ed. You won't have to spend all this money. He has no game plan. Where is this money going?
I said it before.
Just give it to a school district, and what do they do with it? Buy coffee and bagels? Do they take vacations? Probably.
And listen, no accounting for the money after the fact
No
either.
accounting for it.
Yep, exactly right. Thank you, boss man. Let's go to Jeff's in Marlboro. How we doing, Jeff? Welcome back.
Hey, I'm doing all right. Thanks for welcoming me back.
No problem. What's up?
I like that phrase, welcome back. Feels like I'm walking into, my mother-in-law's house or something.
What's going on?
Yeah, so now don't Tim me.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm disagreeing with. Well, I don't know. You haven't come out.
I haven't given my opinion yet. Yes, but I do want to hear from you. I know a lot of people are not really in favor of the idea of the United States taking over the Gaza Strip or being even involved in that region. I totally get that. Now explain to me what your point of view is or why you don't agree with the idea.
Yeah, I love Israel and the Israeli people, and I used to work with some Israeli dual citizens,
Mm-hmm.
and they're great and everything. Getting into that region, though, is like our relationship with them has been very troublesome for this country.
Right.
I love to support people who want freedom.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. But also, I mean, we paid for the bombs that bombed the hell out of Gaza.
Right.
Now we want to pay money. Now we want to pay money to repair it,
Mm-hmm.
and then saying that we're going to go over there and fix it is sort of like Israel telling us, we're going to come to America and manage your Native American reservations.
Ooh. Okay,
You know what
that's
I
a
mean? Like-
perspective. No. It's a fair perspective. I don't think you're out of bounds here. I can get the analogy. It makes sense. But okay, let me respond to that without giving my point of view on this. I know where a lot of people are coming from, and that is the unholy alliance, according to a lot of people, between Israel and America. It is always seen in a negative light. That America is only, as you just eloquently put it, as the brunt force that keeps Israel protected by Gazans, Palestinians, and the Arab world. And the Arab world, there's so many in that region, the only thing we would be doing is inviting ourselves into a conflict that Israel is already in. So therefore, their conflict becomes ours. And they are being sort of bombarded every day, for lack of a better word, by those Arab nations. I totally get it. And then we would be in what anybody can surmise as a perpetual war with the Arab world. I totally get that. But I do believe... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I have no problem with supporting people who are being bombarded like that.
Right.
I don't...
You
I
just don't want to
want
be... You don't want to be in the midst of it.
I just don't think that... I don't know how to put it. I just...
We are putting a... I get you. What you're saying is we're putting a target on our back because they refuse to relent in their animus for Israel. And if we go in there in an alliance and reshape that region, we're doing the same thing to ourselves. I agree. I get what you're saying. However, I think there's an alternative. And I'll discuss that as well. But I get your point. I think it's well taken. I don't think anybody's opposition to what Donald Trump said or his announcement is out of bounds. I don't. I just think that there's a reasonable point of view that he has. And I don't know if he agrees with what I'm about to say, but I'll lay it out.
Well, I think that the Israelis and the Palestinians, they're next door neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And just like us and the Native Americans and that's just like to go 4,000 miles away and tell them that we know how to handle it better, I'm not sure is right. And
I got you.
I'm a big, trust me, I really like Donald Trump, but I think this is a bit off.
Yeah, okay. No, you believe this is a little ahead of his skis.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just about anybody. I mean, it's been going on for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And
I totally see that point of view, and I know that's where a lot of people are coming from. But I think, let me put it, I'm going to let you go, but let me tell you this, in a parting note, let me tell you this. There is a reason why people feel the way you do about this, and I'll explain a little bit of that as well. I know why you feel that way, but it's kind of one of those unspoken things that people don't want to say, lest they be viewed somewhat bigoted in the area, because they're not trying to be bigots, but it makes them sound like it, or it makes them sound like it even though they're not trying to. And I'll explain that. But trust me, your point's well taken. I do understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, this has absolutely nothing to do with race or heritage.
Oh, no, exactly. I totally agree. I know it's not coming from that place. I totally get it. Trust me. I do.
It's history.
Yep. I know. I totally hear you. Thank you, sir. I'm going to go to Patrick in a... do I have time for... Yeah, let's go to Patrick in Ashford. Patrick's...
Yeah, I'll be quick. I hope you're
well.
Listen,
Sure. Thank you, Patrick.
Gaza, we are never going to be there, and Trump knows that. He's just trying to shame the local multi-billionaires into doing what they should do. And
you say multi-billionaires. I mean,
Gaza,
when you say the multi-billionaires, you're talking about in the Arab world, right?
Sure, Saudi Arabia and the rest of those too rich people.
Indeed.
They've got the money. They've got the shared ethnic heritage.
Exactly.
Trump is just trying to do what you know what sometimes happens. Maybe your wife asks you to do something and you don't do it, and then finally she says, "Okay, I'll do it."
Yep.
Okay. So he's just trying to shame them into doing what they ought to be doing anyway.
You know what?
If they were a little more welcoming to the Gazans, this never would have been a big fight to begin with.
Patrick, you this is your first time calling this show?
No, yeah, I've called the station before.
Okay,
but no,
but
I don't
this is
think
your
we've
first time
spoken
calling my
before.
show? Do you listen to this
Yes,
show
sir.
regularly?
I do.
Okay, so let me say this to you, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You get me. You get me.
I don't know whether to be scared, insulted, or pleased.
No.
Please.
You get me because you are 150,000% right. You are. Listen to me. Listen to me. Donald Trump knows how to get underneath the skin of everyone. Everything he does gets under the skin of everyone. And Donald Trump going out there and saying that we're going to do the job that you won't do. We're going to do the thing that none of you Arab nations, with all of your billions and trillions of dollars, won't do for these poor people. We'll do it. We'll appeal to these people.
Gaza is real estate, and Trump knows a thing or two about real estate.
That's
deals.
it. Exactly.
How to make it happen.
How are you going to let the American president show you up and show up you to Palestinians by giving them something you've always had the ability to afford them? Prosperity.
I've had more fun since January 20th than I've had in a long time. It's wonderful to watch him play these people.
You get me, though. That's the whole deal. You're right. It is about shaming them. It's about saying, what do you want for these people? The palace that I'm going to build them, or the destruction you've allowed them to live under?
Exactly. You got it.
I'm telling you, Patrick, you get me. You totally get me.
Okay, buddy.
Thank you, man.
All right, be well.
You got it. Be good. That's the bottom line. The bottom line is getting under their skin. Because what did I say in the beginning of the opening monologue? They've allowed these people to live in poverty. That's what they do in black neighborhoods all over again. All Donald Trump has to do is go into Chicago and turn it into a palace. Democrats wouldn't know what to do with themselves if he turned those cities and those communities around. They wouldn't know what to do. It's what did Van Jones, you guys remember this, what did Van Jones say after the First Step Act was initiated by Donald Trump? He was getting people out of prison. Van Jones says he embarrassed Democrats with that because Barack Obama never thought of it and didn't even consider it. And that's how he works. Let's get another check of the traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, you're southbound 91 coming into Hartford. Look for some delays now from 34 down to 32 A and B. Then you'll see another slowdown as you move between exit 21 and 20 as you move Cromwell down into Middletown. Northbound side of 91, that looks good from Cromwell up into the Windsor exits. Westbound 84 is slowing from 56 Governor Street right out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound tied up a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 eastbound's a little slow over the Bissell Bridge. 2 westbound slows from exit 4 up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. Now, if you're traveling 9 southbound right now, look out for an accident down by exit 23A in Middletown. Looks like delays are back to exit 27 in Cromwell behind that. So that's all because of this accident sitting in the right lane. So stay left as you approach downtown Middletown. If you are traveling toward Waterbury, 84 westbound delays 26 in Cheshire, up to 25 in Waterbury. Again, a little tight as you approach the Mixmaster. Traveling northbound on Route 8, you'll see some slow traffic up by exit 18 in Seymour. And if you're traveling southbound on the Parkway, look out for an accident between exit 60 and Hamden in the West Rock Tunnel. Delays are back just about to exit 63 in North Haven. 95 southbound New Haven slows 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of our Wednesday afternoon, it'll be mostly cloudy and colder, the high of 30. Then tonight, mostly cloudy, the low down to 17. That sets the table for Thursday morning. We'll get snow, sleet, and freezing rain in the morning with 1 to 3 inches of snow, turning to ice in the afternoon. Roads could be slick throughout the day, the high of 34. Then as we head into Friday, windy with a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high of 38. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. And now, a WTIC news update.
26 degrees at 5:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. A federal bankruptcy judge in Texas is blocking a proposed settlement between Sandy Hook families and the trustee of the Alex Jones bankruptcy. The families won almost $1.5 billion in lawsuits against Jones, damages for his lies about the Newtown shooting. Judge Christopher Lopez ruled the family's plans to divide Jones' assets exceed his court's authority. Governor Lamont's vision for the state's next two-year budget includes universal preschool for 20,000 needy children.
I am proposing that we move 3% of the revenue from our pension pay down into the general fund, 3%. And any surplus in the general fund, estimated at $300 million per year, will be deposited into our brand new universal preschool endowment.
Jeffrey Beckham, Secretary of the Office of Policy and Management, says when the plan is in place, the goal would be no preschool cost for families making up to $100,000 per year. The governor spoke before lawmakers at the Capitol. They'll now haggle over the budget through early June. An out-of-the-box idea, that's what White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt calls President Trump's sudden announcement last night that he'd like to see the U.S. seize Gaza. That would displace more than 2 million people. The world is reacting. This is Riyad Mansour, permanent observer of the state of Palestine, to the UN.
Our homeland is our homeland. If part of it is destroyed, the Gaza Strip, the Palestinian people selected the choice to return to it.
Saudi Arabia and 4 other Arab nations immediately wrote to Secretary of State Marco Rubio in opposition. They're standing behind a two-state solution. Democrats protested today outside the Worldwide Relief Agency, USAID. The Trump administration has virtually shut it down, with employees ordered off the job by the end of the week. Democrats call the move illegal. Meantime, there have been other Trump-related protests around the country.
In Austin, Texas, demonstrators carrying signs reading Trump as a criminal and do not remain silent rallied, issuing calls for action such as defend our democracy.
Donald Trump's attack on immigrants is an attack on us all, and their fight is our fight.
That's from Annapolis, Maryland, where protesters supported transgender people and migrants, among many others. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
On Wall Street, the Dow was up 317 points. S&P climbed 24. The NASDAQ was up 38. Sports, the Bruins at the Rangers. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Hey, everybody, Tom Shattuck here. This Sunday is the big game. Don't blame me. This would be much easier if I could just say this has finally come. Parties, football, libations, food, all the festivities we welcome every February. Question is, what if you're trying to lose weight but still enjoy watching this with friends? The answer, nothing. As I've told you before, Awaken 180 is built for real-life scenarios. The reason I lost my 80 pounds, the program works. And another thing that's really important to me, this is not a big pharma experimental serum that you're taking or anything. There's no syringes involved. This is just good natural eating. Eat wings and meatballs while watching this. Have a beverage while betting on this. Live your life while enjoying this. I think you get the point. Whether you're in the weight loss phase or in free lifelong maintenance, Awaken 180 won't get in the way of enjoying the big game. Reserve your consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. 844-346-1800.
Paid for by government. Now is the time to fill your vault with bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan silver dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. Don't miss out on this special deal, regularly priced at $49.95, but for a limited time, only $39.95. Save $10 per silver bar. Limit of 25 bars per customer. The more you buy, the more you save. Up to $250 in savings and free shipping on every order. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan silver dollar. That's a $59.95 value free. Call 1-800-386-7110. to secure your 1-ounce Morgan silver bars for only $39.95. That's 1-800-386-7195.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
What had happened was.
It's time for What Had Happened Was on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
What had happened was.
Make sure you download the Odyssey app so you can get this, well, not this program, but plenty of others on the Odyssey app. And plus, it's got great music as well on the Odyssey app. Go to odyssey.com or go to WTIC.com, and they'll show you a link to do that. Also, don't forget, we've got the last but not least caller of the day. So you call us up at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Bagel joke also on the way. So what has it been about? What had happened was we opened up the show talking about the comparisons from the inner city and Gaza. And, of course, that led to our 5 o'clock focus question, which is, what is the problem that Americans have with the idea, Donald Trump said, as you heard in the top of the hour, seizing the region and making it better for Palestinians to live so they can actually cut the fighting or end the fighting and actually become a prosperous nation. It doesn't mean that it won't become a two-state solution. It just, we're thinking about, or Donald Trump is thinking about, rebuilding the region and get it out of its doldrums. I mean, bring it back from the 19th century, if you will. Also, we talked about USAID, and we had breaking news on that, finding out that Politico and the New York Times have both been receiving millions of dollars over the past couple of years from USAID, which, of course, lends itself to the reason why folks like Christopher Murphy, Cory Booker, and others are outside protesting USAID funding as Elon Musk seems to strip away the money that they've been giving to various entities, sort of undermining the State Department, even though now it's in the hands of Secretary Marco Rubio at the State Department. And we'll get into more of that, of course, and we're taking your phone calls. And I think Patrick was probably right on point. I know he was right on point in what Donald Trump is doing. He has a tendency to get under people's skin, to get them to think about it and have a conversation about things where other conversations have never come. Look at the response that was quick to the State Department. People say, no, we can't imagine the United States coming in there and changing that region around. But somebody's going to have to ask the question, why not us? And why haven't you? What's your plan for that region? And I think that question is going to be asked. Somebody's going to say, hey, okay, so if you don't want Donald Trump to fix it up, why won't you? Or why haven't you? If you have such strong opinions about us touching it, what's going on with you? Speaking of what's going on with you, Mark Christopher's in the BPS Traffic Center. Mark, don't go quick to the traffic. I'm hearing of change in your voice again. Are you coming?
Yeah.
You're
Same
getting
thing I had a couple weeks ago.
It's happening
Same
again.
Exact thing. Yeah.
What's going on? Are you like?
I'm gonna have to just stay home until spring because every time I go out, it seems like I catch something.
So your immune system's getting a little weaker
Shot.
as you get older,
Yeah,
huh?
it's shot. Yeah,
Really?
Apparently it's shot. So it used to heal quickly, but now I don't know what's going on.
I'm always concerned with that because I heal pretty quickly too, and I'm always
Yeah, I
concerned.
used to.
Yeah, and it's not happening for you. So now you have to, you know what? I'm telling you right now, people don't believe me. Stay away from the kids, man. They're a petri dish of germs, man.
That's exactly. I was in a gym on Saturday.
Yeah.
There's probably about 300 or 400 high school kids. And,
300 or 400 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, forget about it.
Yeah. So I'm probably that's where it's coming from. You know, my son's in high school, so there's no way.
Yeah.
He's been homesick the last couple of days too.
Goodness
so.
gracious. There you go.
Yeah. Here
That's
we
it.
go. So yeah, just got to fight through it. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32 A and B. Again, a little slow from exit 22 down to 21 in Cromwell. If you are traveling on the northbound side of I-91, that moves while Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tied up 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291, 384 looking good east of the river. 2 westbound slows exit 4 to the 84 West merge. If you are traveling 9 southbound, heavy delays now approaching exit 27 in Cromwell down to exit 23A. An accident in the right lane there. Stay left. If you're traveling northbound 91, you'll see some slow traffic 31 in Berlin up to exit 34 in New Britain. Westbound side of 84, tight in Cheshire, approaching 26 to 25 in Waterbury. And southbound in the Parkway, look for slow traffic 62 down to 60 in Hamden. 91 southbound in New Haven, slowing from 7 in toward the 95 interchange. And 95 southbound, look for delays in New Haven from 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by Staples.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $250 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 4/5. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
WTIC weather.
Mostly cloudy tonight, quite cold, the low down to 17. Then a messy Thursday, 1 to 3 inches of snow turning to ice in the morning. Then areas of freezing drizzle in the afternoon, but the high eventually getting up to 34. Then for Thursday night, areas of drizzle in the evening while temps remain above freezing, then becoming clear, the low dropping down to 31. Windy on Friday, clouds and sun, the high 38. Going to feel like the 20s at best with that strong, cold west-northwest wind at 15 to 25 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy on Saturday, the high of 35. Right now, it's 27 in New London, 30 in New Haven, 26 in Bristol, and 28 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or at CVS. That's newnordicusa.com.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Traffic on I-84 in Hartford keeps on moving slower, but at Columbia Implant Center, we're only getting faster, providing you with specialist care assisted by cutting-edge technology.
Roland, did you hear Redman's new album?
7 days a week. Visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
Men, this is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. The one you love is the light of your life. And if you're like most of us, you want to do whatever you can to nurture your relationship. But if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction, you know the impacts the condition is likely having on you and on your partner. ED is a relationship destroyer. It can contribute to depression, distancing, conflicts, even breakups and divorce. And what's so disturbing about this is that most men who suffer with ED can be successfully treated, but a lot of guys don't seek treatment when they should. At Northeast Men's Health, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases. In fact, if you're like most guys, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and maybe find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. So call Northeast Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices in the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Seems everything costs more these days. Groceries, and when's the last time
Did
you
you
checked
even
your
hear my
wireless
question?
bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying,
I said,
may
did you
be
listen to
overpaying.
the
Here's how to get the same fast,
Redman
reliable
album?
nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Trustem Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trustem Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trustem Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustemwill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 10% off. That's trustemwill.com, offer code RADIO. Trustem. Here we go. Online estate planning service. Visit trustemwill.com for details.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, don't forget the last but not least caller of the day is coming up, courtesy of Between Rounds, the Bagel Bakery and Sandwich Cafe, located in South Windsor, Manchester, and Vernon, and of course, the infamous, because it's infamous now. It's not famous. It's infamous because people hate it. The infamous bagel joke of the day. Today's bagel joke: what did the bagel say to the baker when it woke up? Again, what did the bagel say to the baker when he woke up? He said, "It's the yeast I could do." Oh, I'm applauding me. Screw you people. That was funny. That was funny. By the way, if you do have a bagel joke, send it to me. I love bagel jokes. I said, this is going to be my thing. My wife has already wanted to put up T-shirts for bagel jokes. T-shirts with bagel jokes on them and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't think she should go that far. Let's get back to the phones. We got so many people holding and waiting. Wall Street Joe, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, hi. That news that broke about U.S. aid, a couple of things.
Yeah, New York Times and the Politico?
Biden can give George Soros Medal of Freedom for quid pro quo because, the FCC didn't block his buying all those radio stations in America, for propaganda purposes. I know Senator Kennedy out of Louisiana is very upset about it.
He mentioned that.
The flagship station down in Louisiana, comparable to WTIC with mega wattage, is under the control of George Soros because the things that you go through with the FCC to apply for it, they were all waived for him through Biden and his FCC. So, Biden got lots of millions out of that.
Well, we know that Burisma got a lot of money out of USAID. That's been revealed in some of the document dumps that have happened over the last couple of weeks. But again, and that's the part that I don't seem to understand, is as that's happening, very few outlets are even reporting on USAID, or at least what's being revealed at USAID. What I also find astonishing is why. And what are we learning? Is that the reason why the newspapers seem to be ignoring what is being revealed is because now we're finding out that they're all getting funding. Politico literally will shut down. I mean, that's going to be breaking news. Politico has been surviving through USAID, according to this report.
Yeah, Elon Musk will be getting a Medal of Freedom out of this for sure. That would be a pittance,
without a doubt,
for what he's doing and what's going to continue to do. Now, the women on The View through ABC, they must be getting lots of money from USA to spew what they do on TV. Because they're propaganda unit of the DNC.
I'll tell you this:
they're getting millions and millions through ABC.
I'll tell you this: I'm not concerned. I'm patiently waiting because I know that this is only the tip of the iceberg. The fact that we know that the New York Times, the old great lady, is in bed with the administration, with the former administration, and of course Politico. I'm almost certain this well goes deep, and we're going to find a lot of people who are embarrassed.
Here's one big thing you should look into.
What's that?
I found out yesterday. Remember that big thing in Haiti with the Clinton Foundation trying to get the Haitians back, and they $1 billion
is missing. Yep.
Well, guess who was right in the middle of that effort with the Clinton Foundation, USA? They were the primary source of getting the money, and $1 billion disappeared.
Yeah.
And
it's a slush fund.
The USA just this past year donated to the Clinton Foundation. I thought the Clinton Foundation was kaput.
Yeah, so did I.
They're sending money to it.
Yeah. Thank you, boss. Let's go to Corey. Corey's in Meriden. How we doing, Corey?
Hey, brother. I'm still caught up on your bagel joke.
Much appreciated, sir. I appreciate you. What do you got for me?
Shout out to Between Rounds, man. Oh, it's absolutely unbelievable. Hey, going back to your thing here. I know you had brought it up in the past hour. I'm just driving home from work.
Oh,
with the Gaza thing.
Yes, please.
A lot of the history behind things that a lot of people don't understand is the Balfour Declaration. And if you look at it in history, it was never actually finalized. And I don't know if you're like a person that would look at body language yesterday between Netanyahu and Trump.
Yes.
It was quite astonishing that it looked like Trump caught him off guard.
Yes. You and I both. Okay, so you caught it too. I was looking. My wife was doing the same thing. She was like, "Oh, look at Netanyahu," and I went, "Oh yeah, I don't think he knew. I don't think he was in on it at all."
it was so funny because I mean, honestly, everybody's asking why would Trump bring up Greenland and all this other stuff, and you have to ask yourself, well, wait a second. You go back into history and actually start looking at the documents, and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
These treaties, these land pieces were never finalized through the British government, even back to the Balfour Declaration. And I'm like, wait a second. Trump must know something that we don't. So I looked it up, and sure as crap, these land pieces were never finalized through the British Empire. And I think Trump knows that and can be used to the advantage of the United States. And I think Netanyahu got scared because of where the original money for Israel came from was never actually fully developed for them. And I think that's why he caught him off guard.
Yeah, look, if indeed, see, I think that the part that's scary about the news media in all of this is they are quick to react to, and this is what news media has turned itself into, Corey. It is turned into soundbite media, which in essence is, I need to write a story about what somebody said. Like we get these headlines that says, Van Jones says this on CNN. Like it's always, that's actually been the story. So Donald Trump is literally driving the news cycle by just words, not deeds. Like Donald Trump yesterday said that, this is a S-hole country. And like that becomes the whole theme of the news cycle. I'm like, wait a minute, what does that have to do with X's and O's? What does that have to do with numbers and, and dollar signs? Nothing. It becomes this sort of complex a web of people talking about Donald Trump had the audacity to say. Now people are reacting to it. I'm saying the people in the Middle East are reacting to it and saying, no, we can't go for that. No. But now a conversation builds, and then when we dig deeper, as you just did, we start pulling back the layers. We find out, holy crap! All he did was open up a powder keg for for people to go, all right, now we need to scramble because he left the door wide open for other people to realize exactly as you did. None of this stuff was finalized. Now we need to.
And then just to finalize with your thought there, it's amazing because my 6-year-old comes up to me and he was watching randomly on the TV one of the speeches that he was giving yesterday.
Yeah.
He goes, Daddy, why did he just say that? I just learned about this in class. And I looked at him. I'm like, you learned about this?
Mm-hmm.
And the historical piece of that is so informative as to the way that I think that what President Trump is doing is he's giving an educational piece for exactly what you just said, is to create a conversation that people actually start to envelop the lookup portion of it.
Did you
actually start learning the knowledge?
Did you say your son was the person who was watching? How old is it, your son or your daughter?
It's my son. He's 6 years old.
He's 6 years old. Listen, keep an eye on that kid. What you just witnessed, listen to me, what you just witnessed was critical thinking at a very young age. The fact that he asked that question, I was that curious. But I got into politics when I was 10. That is a very rare thing for a 6-year-old to notice something that somebody said and pick something from it. His critical thinking wires are they're connected. Pay very close attention to him. That's a kid who gets it very early on. Do not miss an opportunity with him. I promise you.
I promise, brother. I promise you, man. I like I said, I want to give a shout out not only to your show and everything else. It's been a blessing, and I just thought I'd share that story with you because it blew my mind last night, and I've been thinking about it since yesterday.
I totally appreciate it, sir. Thank you. God bless, man. Let's go to my good friend Craig's in the car. What's going on, sir?
Keep something in mind, Reese. All of this USAID stuff we're talking about, this is one small organization that none of us ever heard about 3 weeks ago.
That's right.
Can you imagine what is going on in all these other government departments and NGOs and all of this? This is, man, I don't know how many times I can say chaos and earthquakes, but that's what this looks like.
You know what? And you know what? Let me tell you why what you just said is so relevant to all of this. Just like, what was her name? Brennan from CBS talking to Representative Mast when she said this is only 1% of the federal budget, right? And now we're finding out what that 1% was doing across the globe, what it was paying for, what it was financing. This is 1%. It begs you to ask the question, What were they doing with other organizations in the Department of Education? What were they doing with our money inside the IRS? Because if they were using USAID to do these clandestine things, and again, this is an apparatus, as we're finding out, of the CIA. Oh, I kid you not, folks. If you didn't know that, you look this up. This is
once we start getting into all the kickbacks and the payoffs that have been a result of all this money, people will go to jail.
Exactly.
There's no question people will go to jail. And that's why they are apoplectic and freaking out.
Yeah, this is, listen, the way in which Congress is behaving in the streets. I mean, they're outside protesting like it was Donald Trump's inauguration day in 2017. And you've never seen them this vocal. Never.
Reese, if I could talk just for a second about Gaza, I would implore your listeners and everybody, all the scallywags, to use this as a history lesson, because the comments that Trump made last night caused me to be more curious about geography and history and all that. I am learning things. The Gaza Strip is 140 square miles.
Yeah.
With 2 million people, and there's not a building standing there.
Yep.
We're not talking about Los Angeles. We're not talking about Manhattan, where you have skyscrapers where people live. These people are living in 2-story concrete buildings when they actually stood.
Yeah.
And if you look at a map, it's directly next to Egypt. It's directly next to Jordan. And if you cross the border to either one of those two countries, there's absolutely nothing there.
That's right.
There's plenty of room to house a couple of million people for a few years while you rebuild Gaza, which, by the way, has miles of coastline to the Mediterranean Sea, winter temperatures in the mid-50s, summer temperature in the low 80s. Boy, I'll tell you.
It's the perfect real estate spot.
If you can come in and get somebody to rebuild that for me to live in, I might think about moving there.
Craig, let me let you go, because I can't give you the last but not least caller today. They will call that rigging it. So I love you, bro. Let's go to Tom, who's in Bristol, who is our last but not least caller of the day. I don't want to rig it. Tom seems new. How we doing, Tom? You got a minute. What do you got for me?
Okay, good. Thank you so much for taking my call. And I just want to comment that, it goes way back before the Balfour Declaration that actually God gave Israel that country thousands of years ago.
Fair enough.
And, he said in the scriptures that whoever blesses Israel will be blessed. And Trump is bringing a great blessing on America by his, acquiescence to what Netanyahu and his government is doing. So, I was just delighted to see those two together today. And Netanyahu was lit up like a candle, like sitting next to Trump. I mean, you compare that with when he was sitting next to Biden, it's night and day.
Yeah, it is night and day. Tom, let me put you on hold so I can get you your prize, 1 dozen bagels for a month for 6 months, courtesy of Between Rounds, the Bagels Bakery and Sandwich Cafe in South Windsor, Vernon, and Manchester. Folks, as I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. He is about to be under the weather. He's Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Feel better, Mark.
Thanks, Reese. Have a great night. If you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91 delays.
All right, good, sir.
And B.
Grazie.
Northbound side of 91 moving while crumb.
See you tomorrow. We got snow tonight, so I'm up at the hotel.
Oh, man. How many inches?
It's like 3, but it's supposed to be like freezing ice, so.
Oh, yeah, that's not good at all.
It's not good at all.
All right. All right, be careful out there.
Yes, sir.
Moving well Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9th southbound still heavy traffic as you move down from 27 and Cromwell down to the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. We have an accident or remains of a vehicle fire.
All right, folks. Wow, this was a really, really, well, in my opinion, a really, really good show. I normally don't give my opinion on the show, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And a lot of good stuff today. We'll try to do our best to keep it up tomorrow. Trick Step, thank you so much for the share on X, and thank you for showing me love. I appreciate you. Tara P, I didn't get to say hi to you earlier, and of course, Sokolowski, God bless you. Lori, everybody else in the chat room, it has been fantastic. As always, and thank you guys on X for growing the show and sharing it and being a part of it. It warms my heart. It makes me feel wanted. And that's all a guy can ask for. So I hope I'm giving you an entertaining show that you can enjoy and love, and we'll do it again tomorrow.